Chapter 1438. Mysterious Emissary. On the 20th floor of the floating cloud pagoda, the divine fruits inside the box beside Qin Yun have already been used up, and it has only been a little more than a month. With Xiao Xian Qin joining the cultivation, the consumption of divine fruits became even faster, meaning that their cultivation speed became even faster. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan also improved by a lot. They are now 4th level Xian immortals. Qin Yun looked at the situation of the Nether Sun and discovered that the totem runes on the little heavenly lion's surface are increasing. The Xian immortal power inside the Nether Sun is also increasing. The heavenly lion looks even stronger, especially that ferocious aura. Even Qin Yun himself feels somewhat apprehensive. When will the Nether Sun totem on the heavenly lion's body be complete? Don't tell me it has to cultivate to the 9th level of the Xian immortal realm? Qin Yun thought. He is now at the 4th level of the Xian immortal realm, but the Nether Sun totem on the little heavenly lion's body is still not complete. Although there are not many Nether Sun totem, the heavenly Tao's ferocious aura is getting stronger and stronger. There are no more divine fruits. Xiao Xian Qin said. Xiao Yun, take out the holy infant fruit. Qin Yun nodded, then took out the holy infant fruit and placed it in a small jade basin. There is still a lot of divine liquid inside the small jade basin. It can be continuously absorbed by the holy infant fruit. The energy released by the holy infant fruit is very strong. Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelan and Xiao Xian Qin can directly absorb it and then cultivate together. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan used the divine fruit to cultivate. In less than half a month, they have cultivated to the 4th level of the Xian immortal realm. This can be considered very good. Outside, Yang Tianhen is very anxious. He is walking back and forth. Because Qin Yun did not come out during this period of time, they are worried that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan would be too anxious to break through and enter cultivation deviation. Yang Kuei said. Family head, evil sun race's 100 Earth immortals have already entered the Su family. They are receiving training in the Su family. What kind of competition would it be during the competition? Will it be a battle or something? We don't know yet. When the time comes, the sun's core will guide us. Yang Tianhen looked at the sun's core in the sky and muttered, I hope that little girl and Qin Long can become powerful 9th level Earth immortals. Only then will we have the power to counterattack when facing the worst situation. Patriarch, don't you think Brother Qin and Miss Yuelan will win? Yang Kuei asked with a frown. It's not that I'm not optimistic, but it's not realistic for them to become Earth immortals in such a short period of time. We have to prepare for the worst. Yang Tianhen waved his hand. Yang Kuei believes that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan can become stronger. An old man suddenly rushed in and shouted, Patriarch, it's not good. The Xie race has sent even stronger people in. It seems to be the Xie race patriarch and some elders. The Su family is truly a piece of shit. They actually let such a powerful guy in. Our heart protection divine race is going to perish. Yang Tianhen cursed loudly. Let's go and take a look. The old man said anxiously. We don't need to go over, they are coming. Yang Tianhen's expression changed. What are they doing here? Was he going to stir up trouble again? The incident with the Su family last time caused them to suffer quite a bit. Didn't they suffer enough last time? I don't know who they are, but they definitely came with ill intentions. The old man said with a grave expression, Patriarch, should we prepare to fight them? Get ready. Yang Tianhen's expression is ice-cold as he shouted. Not long after, many people gathered in a large plaza in the middle of the Yang family. The patriarchs and patriarchs of the Su family and Xie race have all arrived. There are also many powerful clan elders. After Yang Tianhen arrived, he angrily rebuked, What are you doing in our Yang family's territory? Su Tiangao chuckled and said, Yang family patriarch, don't be so nervous. The Xie race friends came here mainly to greet you. After all, they are guests and you can be considered as half a master here. Su Hong said with sneer. Yang family, you seem to be very afraid? Who told you to be great General Xie Taimeng? Speaking of Xie Tianmeng's death, the expression of the Xie Yang race people became somewhat unsightly. Xie Yuanfeng furiously shouted. Quickly let Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, those two bastards, come out. They joined hands to kill my bull dragon people, and also killed my subordinates. I want them to come out and admit their wrongs. Yang Tianhen said. Quickly leave our Yang family's territory, our Yang family does not welcome you. Su Tiangao said. Yang Tianhen, the friends of the Xie Yang race are much more brilliant than us in terms of inscription. They came here this time to see Qin Yun's stone building and the Saint Tool in his hands. Tell him to come out. He doesn't have time, Yang Tianhen said. They are really cultivating. What do you think they are doing? It is clearly impossible for them to have a chance, they should just obediently enjoy it. Su Tiangao chuckled and said, All right, since they don't have time, then we will also take our leave. After speaking, Su Tiangao left with the Xie Yang race people. After they left, Yang Tianhen is very angry because Su Tiangao clearly brought the Xie Yang race people to provoke him. Pass down the order, properly guard our Yang family's territory. If anyone else sneaks in, kill them all. Yang Tianhen said coldly. Our Yang family's territory, we cannot allow the Xie Yang race to enter. Yes. A group of people replied. Yang Tianhen said again. Yang Kuei, bring some people to guard little brother Qin's courtyard. Don't let anyone come near and cause trouble. If anyone from the Su family or the Xie Yang race comes near, cripple them. Patriarch, I understand. Yang Kuei nodded and said. After Su Tiangao and the Xie Yang race people returned, they entered a secret room. Everyone, do you think that husband and wife can become earth immortals? Su Tiangao said. Although it is very impossible, I am still very worried. According to the strength they displayed, they are not simple, maybe they have other resources in their hands. Su Hong shook his head and said, That guy's stone building is very sturdy, it will be very difficult for us to break through. An old man from the Xie Yang race said, That brat killed Xie Taimeng, we can't let him off. We will send people to sneak in and figure out that brat's situation, then kill him. You better not act recklessly, Su Tiangao promptly said. Even if we go over, it will be useless. Qin Yun is hiding in the pagoda and won't come out. What's more, he has the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hands, that is no joke. Su Hong said, During the competition, we should have a chance to get rid of the two of them. At that time, our two families will work together and we will definitely be able to obtain a sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xie Yang race and Su family people want to get rid of Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan in advance to avoid any unexpected event. However, after careful consideration, they did not make a move because they are not confident in breaking through the floating cloud pagoda. What they can do now is to make the disciples participating in the competition stronger. At that time, they will be able to suppress Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan and obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Time passed very quickly. There are only 2 days left from the 3-month time limit. The two suns in the sky suddenly shot down 2 beams of light. The 2 beams of light landed on the spacious road that separated the Yang family and Su family. Su family and Yang family people, as well as the Xie Yang race people, quickly rushed over. After they arrived, they discovered that there are 2 bald men standing there. Their bodies are muscular and they only wear black pants. Their appearances are ordinary, but the 2 of them look exactly the same. Furthermore, their faces are expressionless and their eyes are lifeless and devoid of emotion. We are the divine arrow emissaries. We are responsible for arranging for you to compete. Please let the person with the divine arrow come out and hand over the sun-suppressing divine arrow to us for safekeeping. One of the bald men said. Su Tiangao shouted at Yang Tianhen. Yang family head, Why aren't you calling out that couple? Yang Tianhen promptly said. Emissary, they are still cultivating. Can we wait 2 more days? No. The bald man's voice is ice-cold and ruthless. Ha! What's the use of them cultivating? Su Tiangao mocked. Emissary, can the Xie Yang race people also participate in the competition? Yang Tianhen looked at the Xie Yang race people and asked. As long as you can come here, you can participate in the competition. Of course, your Yang family is excluded, because you have already obtained 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows. The bald man said. The Xie Yang race is our enemy. Yang Tianhen said. If the enemy can come here, then it's no longer our business, but your business. The reason why they can participate in the competition is also because of your permission. The bald man urged, hurry up and let the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow out. Yang Tianhen really couldn't understand what these 2 emissaries were thinking. The Xie Yang race was clearly their enemy, yet they could still participate in the competition. The people of Xie Yang race immediately felt a lot more at ease, and their faces were filled with complacent smiles. The people from the Su family were the same. Su Tiangao laughed. I've already said it before, negotiating peace with the Xie Yang race is beneficial to the heart-protecting divine race. Yang family head, stop dawdling, quickly let them out. We can't call them either. Yang Tianhen said. Lead the way, let's go find them. The bald man shouted coldly. I know where it is, I'll lead the way. Su Tiangao chuckled and said, Lord Emissary, they are hiding in a very strong stone building. Can you get them out? If they continue to cultivate inside and can't come out, what should we do? We can open it. The bald emissary said very confidently. Let's go. Not long after, the 2 bald emissaries arrived at the courtyard. When Yang Kuei saw this group of people, he originally wanted to stop them, but when he saw Yang Tianhen nod his head, he let them go. After Yang Tianhen arrived, he did not call Qin Yun and company because he knew that the floating cloud pagoda's defense is very strong. Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelan, hurry up and come out. Su Tiangao shouted. The competition is about to begin, how long do you want to hide for? Qin Yun also heard it from inside. During this period of time, he has been cultivating with Xiao Yuelan and Xiao Xianqin, absorbing the power of the sacred infant fruit. Although his breakthrough is very fast, he is currently only at the 8th level of the Xian immortal realm. Isn't there still 2 or 3 days? Qin Yun's voice came from the floating cloud pagoda. That's only a rough estimate. Now that the Lord Emissary has arrived, it's about to begin. Su Tiangao shouted. Chapter 1439. Collecting Divine Arrows. Chapter 1439. Collecting divine arrows. Su Hong wished for the 2 envoys to kill Qin Yun and destroy the floating cloud pagoda. The bald envoy shouted, Time is almost up, hurry up and come out. Don't force us to use force. You also said that time is almost up, that means it's not time yet. Qin Yun said, There are still 2 or 3 days until the final time, right? Since it's not time yet, why are you in such a hurry? Qin Yun, shut up. Don't be rude to the Lord Envoy. Su Hong shouted loudly. Am I being rude? Qin Yun said with sneer from inside the floating cloud pagoda. I won't go out until time is up. Su Hong looked at the 2 bald envoys and said in a low voice, Lord Envoy, let's do it. Destroy this stone building, capture that guy and make him hand over the sun-suppressing divine arrow. It would be best to disqualify them. Yang Tianhen immediately walked over and said coldly, Envoy, since it's not time yet, why are you in such a hurry? We are the envoys. We are going to gather the participants and inform them of the rules. Since we came early, we will bring forward the time. The bald envoy said angrily, Since they are not coming out, don't blame me for being impolite. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan suddenly felt that it is very strange. Where did these envoys come from? They don't seem to be weak. Logically speaking, they shouldn't be afraid of the Xie race. After all, these two envoys are stronger than the patriarch of the Xie race. They should be the main force against the Xie race. In the 20th floor of the floating cloud pagoda, Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelan and Xiao Xianqin are cultivating together, absorbing the energy released by the sacred infant fruit. Fortunately, the divine liquid given by the star god allowed them to cultivate to the 8th level of the Xian immortal realm. Now, they are only a step away from the 9th level of the Xian immortal realm. There is still a large vat of divine liquid, it is enough for them. Just as Qin Yun expected, even if they cultivate to the 8th level of the Xian immortal realm, only the little heavenly lion revolving around the nether sun has changed. Many nether sun totems appeared on the heavenly lion's body. As for the small flame hammer and the dragon, there is still no movement. Qin Yun guessed that only the earth immortal realm can begin cultivating the small flame hammer. If everything went smoothly, he would be able to enter the heart of the sun to train. He wanted to see if the little blazing hammer, the 9 sun divine hammer, and the heart of the sun were related. Boom! The floating cloud pagoda suddenly shook. It was hit by a very powerful force. Xiao Yun. Xiao Xianqin said worriedly, "Those two envoys seem to be very strong. Don't be afraid of them. At best, they are just very strong earth immortals." Qin Yun wasn't worried at all. He said, "Let's continue cultivating and break through to the 9th level of the mysterious immortal realm as soon as possible." Xiao Xianqin nodded. Xiao Yuelan snorted and said, "Where did those two envoys come from? Very powerful." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "There's clearly 2 or 3 days left, but he actually came early. Could it be that he plans on putting on an act in front of us? Those two idiots." Rumble. The floating cloud pagoda shook again. The two bald emissaries attacked again with a very violent power, but the floating cloud pagoda only shook slightly. Seeing how terrifying the floating cloud pagoda was, Su Tiangao and the experts of the evil Yang race all looked at each other. They knew that this pagoda was very sturdy, but they didn't expect that even the powerful emissary couldn't break through it. "Do you need our help?" Su Tiangao asked. "Yes, get them out." A bald emissary nodded and said, "When they come out, we must teach them a lesson. They actually dare to ignore us emissaries and be so disrespectful to us." Su Hong said, "That guy has always been like this. I really don't know why the sun-suppressing divine arrow chose him. Come, everyone attack together and destroy this broken thing." Su Tiangao shouted loudly and gathered a large group of Su family experts and evil Yang race experts. A bald emissary shouted, "Get ready, attack!" In an instant, rumbling sounds rang out unceasingly, explosions flashed one after another, the earth trembled unceasingly, and the sky rumbled from all directions. The floating cloud pagoda is a square-shaped stone building. Its surface looks somewhat dilapidated, and it is currently enveloped by all kinds of energy-formed multicolored light, making it impossible to see the pagoda's body. Yang Tianhen and the others from the Yang family are watching from afar. They are also somewhat worried that the floating cloud pagoda will be breached because at that time, Su Tiangao and the others will definitely take the opportunity to injure Xiao Yuelan and Qin Yun. There are at least 50 powerful Earth immortals currently attacking the floating cloud pagoda. All of them are releasing their strongest power, wanting to break through the floating cloud pagoda. In the vicinity, there are many Su family and evil nurturing race people shouting and increasing their aura. After a while, the world finally quieted down. The courtyard is shrouded in a mist of light caused by the explosion of energy. The mist of light gradually dissipated. Everyone is dumbstruck because the attack just now did not have any effect at all. The floating cloud pagoda is still standing there very steadily. Although the surface is full of potholes, it was there before. Their attack just now did not even make the floating cloud pagoda drop a single stone. Su family and evil Yang race people are in an uproar. The Yang family people who are watching from the side also exclaimed in surprise. The floating cloud pagoda's defense is beyond their imagination. Although many of the Yang family's buildings in the vicinity were affected, seeing that the floating cloud pagoda is fine, Yang Tianhen also relaxed and a smile appeared on his face. Yang Yi said with smile, "Please continue attacking. The expressions of the two emissaries are the most unsightly. Just now, when they came, they were full of confidence that they could break through the floating cloud pagoda, but now they have not done it. Sir Emissary, if the time is up, will the sun-suppressing divine arrow have any reaction?" Su Tiangao asked. "When the time is up, the sun-suppressing divine arrow in their hands will temporarily enter the heart of the sun. The two who pass the heart of the sun test will be able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow," a bald emissary said with a somewhat unsightly expression. "In that case, let the heart of the sun take back the sun-suppressing divine arrow," Yang Tianhen said with a smile. "The time is not up yet. Emissaries come here to show off. This is not too good." "What did you say? You said that we are showing off? Do you know what kind of existence we sun emissaries are?" A bald emissary immediately said angrily. "Yang Tianhen, you have insulted our emissaries. Quickly apologize and accept your punishment." Su Tiangao hurriedly shouted, "Sir Emissary, quickly take that guy down. I don't care what kind of existence you are. After all, the sun-suppressing divine arrow has not moved, yet you came here to attack someone else's building and steal the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Aren't you trying to show off?" Yang Tianhen sneered. "He is not afraid of any emissary." "Shut up," the bald emissary said angrily. "Why should I shut up?" Yang Tianhen said with a sneer. "What kind of sun emissaries are you? Why don't you appear normally? Especially when dealing with the Xie Yang race, I can't even see your figures. Now that you have appeared in my territory and started a fight, it is already good that I did not pursue this matter." Yang Kuei shouted, "Xie Yang race bastards, quickly scram out of my Yang family's territory, otherwise our Yang family will start slaughtering these bastards. What do you know? We made that guy hand over the sun-suppressing divine arrow in advance, because we don't want them to be killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow," the bald emissary said angrily. "As for your war, it has nothing to do with us. We are only responsible for operating the heart of the sun." Su Tiangao also shouted loudly, "Yang Tianhen, you are too arrogant. Hurry up and let Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan come out and hand over the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Su Hong said with a sneer, "They have offended the Lord Emissary, they definitely won't dare to come out. They are afraid that they will be punished by the Lord Emissary." At this moment, Xie Yuanfeng of the Xie Yang race also stood at the entrance of the floating cloud pagoda and shouted, "Xiao Yuelan, Qin Yun, hurry up and come out, you killed my ox dragon people and 10 outstanding subordinates, I will definitely kill you." Suddenly, the door of the floating cloud pagoda opened. 2 beams of light shot out, they are 2 sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew out and pierced through Xie Yuanfeng's head and body. Xie Yuanfeng's head was smashed into pieces and a large hole appeared in his body. "Young Master Feng," Su Tiangao is extremely shocked and shouted loudly. Xie Yuanfeng was actually killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow that flew out, causing a burst of exclamations. The Xie Yang race people are incomparably furious. They all attacked the floating cloud pagoda one after another. At this moment, a large group of experts from the Yang family also rushed over. When they saw that idiot Xie Yuanfeng was killed, they all laughed heartily. "The sun-suppressing divine arrow has already been sent out, we still want to stay in the pagoda for a while more. When the time is up, we will naturally participate in the assessment." Qin Yun's voice came out from the pagoda. The pair of sun-suppressing divine arrows stabbed into the ground, right in front of the 2 emissaries. The patriarch of the Xie race is also here. When he saw that his youngest son was killed, he was also very angry, but he didn't dare to act recklessly, because it was his youngest son who courted death. He ran to the other party's door and didn't expect that after the other party returned the sun-suppressing divine arrow, his youngest son's body would be pierced through. Of the two sun-suppressing divine arrows, one emitted a fiery red light and the other emitted a deep red light. They were inserted into the ground and released a very strong power. Su Tiangao and the patriarch of the Xie race are incomparably envious. They really want to obtain it, but they don't have the chance because the sun-suppressing divine arrow will choose its own master. The bald emissary shouted. The person who has the sun-suppressing divine arrow, quickly come out and receive your punishment. You did not follow the rules and even disrespected us emissaries. How do you want to punish me? Qin Yun suddenly appeared at the door, his expression is ice-cold. Come out and admit your wrongs. The bald emissary thought about how he crazily attacked the floating cloud pagoda and failed. He felt very angry and ashamed, so he wants to punish Qin Yun. And if I don't admit my wrongs? Qin Yun said with sneer. If you don't admit your wrongs, once you leave the pagoda, I will beat you up. The bald emissary shouted angrily. Quickly come out and receive your punishment. Qin Yun suddenly walked out. This immediately caused Yang Tianhen to turn pale with fright. He thought that Qin Yun wouldn't come out. I won't apologize. I'll just stand here. Come and hit me. Qin Yun looked at the bald emissary. His voice is filled with power and said coldly. Arrogant bastard, you deserve a lesson. Let's go. One of the bald emissaries shouted angrily. Hur! The two bald emissaries immediately rushed towards Qin Yun. Moreover, each of their arms are filled with a very strong power. These are two very strong earth immortals. If they attack Qin Yun together, even if they don't kill him, they will definitely be able to heavily injure him. Chapter 1440. Yang Wuxin Su Tiangao, Xie Yang, and the others were secretly happy when they saw the two messengers attacking angrily. Qin Yun stood there, not planning on taking action. The sun-suppressing divine arrow that was stuck in the ground trembled for a moment, then suddenly flew up and pierced towards the two bald emissaries. Boom! The speed of the sun-suppressing arrow was as fast as lightning, and in the blink of an eye, it pierced through the heads of the two bald envoys. Furthermore, it produced a very violent explosive force, causing the heads of the two envoys to explode. So. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew back and forth, passing through the bodies of the two bald emissaries, leaving behind several holes. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared dumbfoundedly at the two sturdy bodies falling to the ground. Qin Yun stood there with his hands behind his back and said indifferently, I didn't do anything. The sun-suppressing divine arrow acted on its own. Who else wants to act against me? Quickly make your move. Those two powerful and mysterious sun envoys were killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow, let alone them. Yang Tianhen was also very shocked. He never thought that the sun-suppressing divine arrow could actually kill the sun emissary. That's the sun-suppressing divine arrow protecting its master. Before the time is up, the sun-suppressing divine arrow cannot leave its master. Yang Tianhen said. There's something wrong with those two envoys. They came in advance, they should be trying to snatch the sun-suppressing arrow. Qin Yun looked at Su Tiangao and said, Who else wants to kill me? Hurry up and do it. Xie clan leader gritted his teeth. They all wanted to rush over and kill Qin Yun, but they didn't dare to. They had seen the power of the sun-suppressing divine arrow when it was protecting its master, and this made them want it even more. Qin Yun entered the floating cloud pagoda and the sun-suppressing divine arrow followed him. He returned to the 20th floor and continued cultivating with Xiao Yuelan and Xiao Xianqin. Su Tian took a deep breath and said with a smile, Did you guys see that? Qin Yun still has the aura of a Xian immortal, and it's still relatively weak. I guess he's only at the 4th level of Xian Immortal. There's still 3 more days. He's only at the 4th level of the mysterious immortal realm, so they'll definitely be unable to pass the test. Su Hong sneered. The sun-suppressing arrow won't be theirs very soon. Yang Tianhen said coldly, attack. Many people from the Yang family suddenly attacked and charged towards the Xie race. What are you doing? Su Tiangao angrily asked. Of course I'm going to kill those bastards from the Xie race. Yang Tianhen said with a cold smile. Even if we risk our lives, we will fight them until both sides suffer. Su family, if you have the guts, then make your move. Su Tiangao didn't dare. If they really fought and a great battle broke out, the Earth Immortals of Xie race and Su family would be seriously injured. In the assessment 3 days later, they might not be able to win against Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. Yang Tianhen feels that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan will not be able to pass the final test, so he used such an extreme method. He wants to perish together with the Su family and the Xie race. Kill! Yang Tianhen's killing intent was torrential. The Yang family crazily attacked the Xie race. Retreat! Su Tian shouted, then immediately rushed in the direction of their Su family. The people of the evil Yang race also ran because they could feel the determination of the Yang family people. The Yang family chased after them and killed dozens of Xie race members along the way. Only when the other party ran to the Su family to hide did they stop killing. They chopped off the heads of the Xie race members and placed them on the side of their path, letting the Xie race and Su family people see. The Xie patriarch is also furious to the extreme. Just now, they were truly afraid that Yang Tianhen would risk his life. After all, he is a peak Earth immortal. If he doesn't care about his life, he is extremely terrifying. It is enough to cause heavy losses to the Su family and the Xie race. After killing dozens of Xie race members, the Yang family people laughed heartily. Yang family, just you wait. Once we get the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they will be nothing. The Xie patriarch said while gnashing his teeth. One of his sons was killed and dozens of his clansmen were killed. He felt extremely sullen and vexed. Su Tiangao said, once we get the sun-suppressing divine arrow, we will fight them to our heart's content. Now that 2 envoys have died, there should be more envoys coming down. Just as he finished speaking, a beam of light shot down from the sun core in the sky. Another sun emissary came down. Su Tiangao said, Xie family patriarch, don't go over this time. Stay in our Su family's territory, in case Yang Tianhen goes crazy. If Su Tiangao went to the Yang family's territory, he was not afraid. Yang Tianhen was only attacking the Xie race members and did not attack the Su family members. Su Tiangao brought Su Hong, a few elders and a large group of Su family's middle and upper echelons to the place where the sun emissary descended. After they went over, they saw a middle-aged man dressed in white. The middle-aged man's expression was somewhat solemn as he asked. The 2 envoys that came down earlier were mainly to let them familiarize themselves with the rules of the competition. At that time, the Sun Corps will be in charge of the things needed for the examination. The white-clothed middle-aged man paused for a moment. His expression turned cold as he said, after they came down, they were killed. They are indeed dead, killed by the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Su Tiangao hurriedly said, we saw it with our own eyes, they were killed by 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows. They persuaded the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow to come out and meet them, but they did not expect that the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow would be so barbaric and savage that he directly killed them. The white-clothed middle-aged man said angrily, there's such a thing? Quickly take me to those 2 people. Senior, are you also an envoy? Su Hong asked. It's useless even if you go. Those 2 fellows are extremely arrogant and they are hiding in a stone building with strong defenses. There's no way to enter. I am the great envoy. The white-clothed middle-aged man said coldly. Quickly take me there. The vicinity of the courtyard where the floating cloud pagoda was located had long been destroyed by the battle just now. It was now a flat land. After the white-clothed middle-aged man arrived, Yang Tianhen and the others who were nearby hurriedly surrounded him. I heard that the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow is extremely arrogant and even killed 2 envoys, is that right? After the white-clothed middle-aged man saw Yang Tianhen, he said, I am Yang Wuxin, the Sun Emissary of the Heart Yang realm. I am in charge of some matters within the Sun Core. Yang Tianhen said, Of course not. It's your envoys who are too arrogant and even want to seize the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Soon after, Yang Tianhen and Yang Kuei told Yang Wuxin about the atrocities of the 2 bald envoys. After Yang Wuxin finished listening, he looked at Su Tiangao and the others. Sir Envoy, don't believe their nonsense. The Yang family and those 2 fellows are on the same side. Su Tiangao hurriedly said. The 2 envoys' attitude was very good and they didn't say anything about punishment. It was all deliberately said by the Yang family. That's right, the Yang family is very cunning. They want to protect those 2 fellows. Su Hong also said. The people of the Su family were all accusing the Yang family of lying. Yang Tianhen is very angry and said coldly, Envoy Yang, everything we said is true. On the other hand, they want to borrow your hand to deal with our Yang family. Don't be deceived by them. Yang Wuxin felt a headache coming on and shouted, Stop talking! Let the person with the sun-suppressing divine arrow come out and we will confront him face to face. Now we can be sure that the 2 sun envoys were killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow, is that right? It was the sun-suppressing divine arrow that protected its master and killed those 2 fellows. Yang Tianhen added. That's not it. It was Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan who controlled the sun-suppressing divine arrow to kill them. Su Tiangao shouted. He was determined to frame Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. Qin Yun, who is cultivating above, is also speechless. He can only take the 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows and walk down. What surprised Su Tiangao and the others is that Qin Yun actually took the initiative to run out this time. After Qin Yun came out, he stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow into the ground and said, This is how I stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow into the ground. Those 2 envoys were killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow, do you admit it or not? Yang Wuxin said coldly. I admit that they were killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow, but I did not control it. Qin Yun said. No matter what, the reason they died is because of your sun-suppressing divine arrow. Yang Wuxin said. Regarding this matter, I will communicate with the divine arrow's spirit and have it revoke your examination qualifications. Go ahead. Qin Yun waved his hand. Yang Wuxin walked over and grabbed the 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows. However, he felt the sun-suppressing divine arrows tremble violently and burst out with a very strong power. Yang Wuxin let out a blood-curdling scream and was sent flying. Qin Yun, what did you do? How dare you attack the Lord Emissary again? Su Tiangao said angrily and rushed over. Su Hong also hastily rushed towards Qin Yun. He wants to attack Qin Yun. Yang Wuxin looked at Qin Yun in horror and shouted, Stop! When Yang Wuxin shouted, he immediately leaped out and struck Su Tiangao and Su Hong's faces with both palms, sending them flying. Su Tiangao and Su Hong's faces were cracked and bleeding. They were shocked and puzzled, not knowing why Yang Wuxin hit them. Sir Emissary, why did you hit us? Su Tiangao asked. How dare you lie to me? Yang Wuxin said angrily. The spirit of the divine arrow told me everything just now. I can communicate with the spirit of the divine arrow. Qin Yun snorted and said, What a waste of my time, I'm cultivating. Yang Wuxin immediately said respectfully, Friend, just now the spirit of the divine arrow said that it will give you 5 more days. Qin Yun is somewhat astonished. Yang Wuxin just grabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow, but he actually managed to communicate so much. Alright. Qin Yun nodded. 5 days is enough for him and Xiao Yuelon to step into the 9th level of the Xian immortal realm. After all, they are still at the Earth immortal realm. Friend, please forgive me for offending you just now. It was all those 2 guys who lied to me. Yang Wuxin said with a smile. In these 5 days, I will wait here for you to come out and then explain the assessment process in detail to you. Alright, many thanks. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he waved his hand and the 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows flew back. Although one of the sun-suppressing divine arrows belongs to Xiao Yuelon, Qin Yun can easily control it. Chapter 1441. 1441 Chapter 1441, The Test of Heart. Yang Wuxin was startled by the divine arrow's spirit just now. Because the divine arrow's spirit wanted to protect Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon, it released a very strong power to send Yang Wuxin flying. Furthermore, it told Yang Wuxin to distinguish right from wrong. Yang Wuxin immediately understood that the Qin Yun in front of him was very special. He had obtained the protection of the divine arrow's spirit. Therefore, he guessed that Su Tiangao and the others were obstructing him and wanted to kill him with a borrowed knife. This made him very angry in his heart. Yang Wuxin's face darkened. He looked at Su Tiangao and Su Hong and shouted, "You 2 bastards, do you want to borrow my hands to get rid of your enemies?" Envoy Yang, you don't know. The Su family is in cahoots with the Xie race. There are many Xie race members in our barrier. Little brother Qin killed that fellow from the Xie race, so the Su family naturally has to take revenge for the Xie race. Yang Tianhen said, I don't care about the matters between your 2 tribes. Even if you're colluding with the evil Yang race, if anything happens to the sun's heart, the ones who will die will be your 2 tribes. Yang Wuxin said coldly, Don't think that you can leave just because there's a problem with the sun's core. You will die miserably. Su Tiangao had just been slapped and watched by so many people, so he was very angry. However, facing Yang Wuxin, he didn't dare to flare up. He still smiled politely and said, Lord Envoy, we are only negotiating with the Xie race. This is also a delaying tactic. Besides, this is very beneficial to our tribe. Then you let the Xie race participate in the test. Is this also a delaying tactic? Yang Tianhen laughed coldly. You even let the evil Yang race participate in the sun-suppressing divine arrow test? Yang Wuxin was a little surprised and frowned slightly. Well, we believe that with Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's strength, they will definitely be able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow in the end. That's why we agreed to the Xie race. It doesn't matter if they participate since they won't be able to get it anyway. Instead, they have to agree to our conditions. Su Tiangao laughed. Yang Tianhen cursed in a low voice. Su Tiangao, you shameless fellow. Su Tiangao ignored Yang Tianhen and came before Yang Wuxin, asking, Lord Envoy, the Xie race should be able to participate in the test, right? I don't know. It depends on the sun's core. If the sun's core is willing to test them, then they can participate. After Yang Wuxin finished speaking, he looked at the floating cloud pagoda behind him and said, Also, they have to obtain the recognition of the divine arrow's spirit. This is the most difficult thing. If the people of the Xie race are tortured to death by the heart of the sun during the test, they deserve it. Don't worry, I've told the Xie race about the worst-case scenarios, and they said they weren't afraid. Su Tiangao laughed. All of you can go back. I'll wait here. Yang Wuxin waved his hand and let the Su family leave. Be it the Su family or the Yang family, they all felt it was very strange. Why would Yang Wuxin be so respectful to Qin Yun? They all secretly guessed that it was the sun's heart or the divine arrow's spirit's will. I wonder how Sister Rujing and the others are doing. When Xiao Yuelan saw Qin Yun return with the sun-suppressing divine arrow, she said with a sigh, "The mission of protecting the heart of the sun is really difficult. Exterminate the Xie Yang race in the vicinity of the Heart Yang realm and complete the mission." Qin Yun returned the sun-suppressing divine arrow to Xiao Yuelan and said with a smile, "This is after all a very strong divine tool. Furthermore, after passing the test, one can quickly increase their cultivation. If it's difficult, then so be it." Xiao Xianqin said, "Xiao Yun, do you think Sister Rujing and Palace Master Yu will also have the opportunity to increase their cultivation? If so, then they must have immortal emperor-level experts on their side. If Sister Rujing becomes an immortal emperor, our Guang Han Palace's strength will definitely increase by a lot." The heart of 9 suns is distributed in 3 Heart Yang realms. The strongest here can only be an Earth Immortal, and Yu is an immortal emperor. Then what about the Netherworld Great Emperor? Qin Yun is most worried about the Netherworld Great Emperor. The Netherworld Great Emperor is his foster father, and he has just recovered his strength. Furthermore, he is going to the strongest Heart Yang realm alone. The enemies he will face will definitely be very strong. Xiao Yuelan said, "The reason why the heart of 9 suns is open is because they are afraid of being wiped out. Could it really be that someone else will obtain it?" Qin Yun said, "Over the years, the heart of 9 suns must have been snatched many times. That's why there is such a protection mechanism." The 3 of them continued to cultivate together. Now that the time has been increased to 5 days, it made them feel a lot more relaxed. At that time, they can only become 9th-layer Xian Immortals. Even if they face those first-layer Earth Immortals, the pressure won't be too great. 5 days passed. Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelan and Xiao Xianqin came out of the floating cloud pagoda. After coming out, Qin Yun stored the floating cloud pagoda. There is only Yang Wuxin outside. "You two have finally come out. How is your current cultivation?" When Yang Wuxin saw Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, he immediately walked over and asked with a smile. "Not bad," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Emissary Yang, you can now tell us about the contents of the assessment." Yang Wuxin let Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan sit down at the stone table in the pavilion. He stood at the side and said, "This assessment is mainly conducted in the middle of the tribe. The people participating in the assessment are gathered at the center of the large road. After arriving there, the 2 of you first release the sun-suppressing divine arrow and let the sun's heart take back the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan nodded. The sun's heart took back the sun-suppressing divine arrow. They have no objections. Yang Wuxin said again, "After the sun's heart takes back the sun-suppressing divine arrow, it will send down all kinds of power or tools to conduct the assessment. According to the records, the content of the assessment is quite a lot. It will choose a few methods to conduct the assessment. In short, during the assessment there will be danger to your life." Emissary Yang, in the end, only 2 people passed the assessment? Xiao Yuelan asked. "Yes, only 2 people can pass," Yang Wuxin said with a smile. "The 2 of you are valued so highly by the Divine Arrow's spirit. Did you receive any help from the Divine Arrow's spirit?" Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan shook their heads. They tried to communicate with the Divine Arrow's spirit, but were unable to succeed. "Alright. Then you have to pay attention because the sun's heart is in charge of the assessment. It will be very cruel," Yang Wuxin said sternly. "Back then, some people in this tribe were punished by the sun's heart because they violated the clan rules. Many of them died. Why didn't the sun's heart punish the Su family and the Xieyang race?" Xiao Xianqin lightly snorted and said, "The Xieyang race has been here for so long. I don't know about that." Yang Wuxin shook his head. "I'm only responsible for conveying the sun's heart's meaning. I don't know what the sun's heart is thinking either." Qin Yun said, let's go to the center of the tribe." Yang Wuxin nodded and said, It's about time, let's go quickly. The people from the Su family and the Yang family are now on both sides of the main road. There is also a bald emissary here, who is narrating the assessment to the 200 people. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan are wearing the same black skin-tight clothes. After they arrived, it immediately caused many people to discuss. We gave them 5 more days, what can they do? They were only at the first level of Xian Immortal before. Even if they were given 1,000 divine fruits, it would be pretty good if they could reach the 7th level of Xian Immortal in 3 months. The aura on their bodies is still a very weak Xian Immortal aura. Compared to the Earth Immortals of our Su family and the Xie race, they are too lacking. They are so arrogant because they have the protection of the sun-suppressing divine arrow and the Yang family. Without the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they are nothing. I wonder if there will be a martial arts competition in this assessment. If there is, they will definitely die. Just wait and see. They are only responsible for delivering the sun-suppressing divine arrow from the immortal desolate to the heart Yang realm. They are not the true owners of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Giving them the chance to participate in the assessment is just to comfort them. When the people from the Su family saw that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan still have the aura of Xian immortal power, they concluded that they would not be able to pass the assessment. Yang Wuxin said in a low voice, "You too, release the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Xiao Yuelan and Qin Yun released the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Seeing the 2 divine arrows, everyone exclaimed in surprise. After all, it is a very powerful divine tool that can easily kill 2 bald emissaries. After the sun-suppressing divine arrow was released, the 2 suns in the sky shot down 2 beams of light. The 2 sun-suppressing divine arrows followed the 2 beams of light and flew towards the 2 huge round crystals in the sky. They entered and disappeared. Seeing the sun-suppressing divine arrow being taken back, the people from the Su family and the Xie race cheered again and again. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, on the other hand, do not care. They held hands and walked towards the large circle in the middle. There are 100 people from the Xie race and the Su family here. Everyone is filled with anticipation, believing that they will be able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. As long as they could obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they would be able to enter the heart of the sun to cultivate and become a 9th stage Earth Immortal. At that time, they would be the most powerful existence in the Heart Yang realm. The assessment has begun. Everyone, move away from them as soon as possible to avoid being affected. Yang Wuxin suddenly shouted. Many people in the vicinity hastily retreated. Xiao Xianqin is very worried. She is afraid that something will happen to Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. The entire earth suddenly began to tremble slightly, and the core of the sun in the sky began to slowly rotate. At first, the huge round crystal was only rotating slowly, but the speed of its rotation became faster and faster. Hua! A spiral golden beam of light suddenly shot down and enveloped the 200 people on the ground. The people participating in the assessment immediately felt a terrifying energy fiercely pressing down. A large portion of the people participating in the assessment suddenly screamed miserably, looking like they are in great pain. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan held hands, their fingers tightly intertwined. Their brows are tightly knitted, they can feel that the other party is enduring great pain. This is a test to temper one's willpower. Qin Yun said to Xiao Yuelan in a low voice, "While enduring incomparable pain, you must maintain your original heart." "I know, I've experienced it." Xiao Yuelan said softly. "I've also experienced it." Qin Yun experienced it when he cultivated his immortal devil body. And at this moment, other than the 2 of them, everyone else is rolling on the ground in pain and screaming like mad demons. Especially the Xie race's black-robed people, their bodies began to swell and violent energy surged out. Chapter 1442. Demons from hell. Most of the people taking the test were tormented to the point where they wished they were dead. They screamed, and some even bit off their own tongues or bit others in pain. It was as if they had gone mad and lost all reason. There were also some people who were lying on the ground, their bodies trembling. They kept biting their own bodies in a frenzy, mutilating themselves in a frenzy. However, not long after, the assessment area was like a demon from hell being punished. Those watching from afar felt their scalps go numb. And what made them feel strange is that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon were able to endure that kind of terrifying pain. A person who was in so much pain that his entire body was bleeding, he had been tormented to the point of having a hideous expression, suddenly charged at Qin Yun. Qin Yun promptly kicked that person and sent him flying into the group of people. Damn it! Qin Yun is also enduring the pain. Although he is not as miserable as those people, he still feels very uncomfortable enduring the pain. Xiao Yuelon is the same. She closed her eyes and took deep breaths to relax herself. She wanted to adapt to the pain as soon as possible. Xiao Yun, don't you have the senseless elixir? Take it out and try. Ling Yun'er suddenly said. Qin Yun secretly took out the senseless immortal pill and ate it. It was useless. From the looks of it, what was being tortured was their souls and not their bodies. Yang Tianhen's face paled as he watched from afar. The people from the Su family and the Xieyang race were like crazy monsters. Their bodies had already turned black, and their flesh was filled with a demonic aura. Their bodies were slowly swelling. The scariest thing was that those people's shouts gradually became hoarse and low, sounding like ghost beasts. Envoy Yang, is this the test? What the hell is going on? Su Tiangao was very anxious as he hurriedly walked over and asked. The main purpose of this test is to constantly destroy the soul and make the soul feel incomparable pain. Yang Wuxin's face was also filled with fear as he looked at the group of people who were gradually turning into devils. Then, why are Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon fine? Xieyang Patriarch shouted, did they cheat? How is this cheating? Can't you see that they are also suffering? That's because they can hold on. Yang Wuxin snorted coldly. Their souls must have gone through this kind of cultivation before. That's why they didn't collapse under such pain. Yang Tianhen said, when a person's soul is tormented by endless pain, they will hate everything and wish for nothing more than to destroy everything. Then, they will become a walking corpse that only knows how to kill and destroy. Yang Wuxin nodded and said, this is the assessment of the heart of the sun. This is to sharpen one's state of mind. It is not without reason that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon were chosen by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Su Tiangao anxiously asked, don't tell me that this test doesn't require a high cultivation? Is it just a test of the soul? Yang Wuxin shook his head and said, I'm not sure. In short, this was the test of the heart of the sun. If you are not satisfied, then think of a way to reason with the heart of the sun. The Xieyang race's people became the fastest, as they mainly cultivated demonic power and had committed many evil deeds. Once they collapsed, the demonic power in their bodies would devour their souls and control their bodies. The assessment of the heart of the sun not only caused people to suffer endless pain, it also stimulated the darkest evil in people's hearts, causing them to completely turn into demons. If you can't even pass this test, you really don't have the qualifications to obtain the recognition of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Yang Tianhen smiled. Although little brother Qin and Miss Yuelon are in great pain, they will definitely be able to persevere. When Xiao Xianqin saw that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon could still stand, she suddenly felt a lot more at ease. However, when she saw that everyone else in the area enveloped by the golden light are like demons, she couldn't help but worry. Yuelon, endure a little longer, we can persevere. Qin Yun tightly held Xiao Yuelon's lily-white hand. They endured the pain and their palms were already sweating. Xiao Yuelon nodded her head lightly and opened her eyes to look at Qin Yun. Although the two of them were enduring incomparable pain, because they could be together, they felt that they were not afraid of anything. Especially when he saw the other party's encouraging and strong eyes, the pain seemed to have lessened by a lot. They had to protect each other. Only by obtaining great power could they not let the people they protected be harmed. When they looked at each other with deep affection, they couldn't help but think of their childhood and their many years of hard work. "We can persevere," Xiao Yuan said softly and then kissed Qin Yun's lip. Seeing this scene, the Su family and Xie race people gnashed their teeth in hatred. Because their people are in so much pain that they want to die, they are about to turn into demons. Yet Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are still talking about love and being so lovey-dovey with each other. This is simply driving them crazy with anger. Yang Tianhen chuckled and said, "This young couple's feelings are truly deep. Feelings are their weapon to win." Su family, Xie race, your warriors have been trained to be killing tools. They have no emotions. Don't look at how they are usually rude and savage. Because their souls don't have the support of sincere emotions, they are extremely weak. Yang Kuei nodded and said, "So when they are enduring the pain, their souls are immediately destroyed." Su Tiangao scolded, "Don't say any more. It's not over yet. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are only holding on, it won't be long before they collapse." Yang Wuxin shook his head and smiled. "You're wrong, they can persevere. In this kind of assessment, it is like a surging sea of bitterness, the soul is suffering. If the soul doesn't have the support of emotions, it is impossible to face the waves of pain." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are currently in a large boat. Although the sea of bitterness is surging, the large boat is very stable and can persevere until the wind calms down. Xiao Xianqin frowned and said softly, "What if others attack Xiao Yun and Yuan?" The Xie patriarch said with a sneer, "What can they do? Of course they will be killed. If our Xie race's warriors truly become demons, they will definitely be even stronger." Another Xie race old man laughed sinisterly. "Even if Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan can persevere and successfully endure this kind of pain, they will still be unable to fight against those evil spirits. They will definitely be killed. Strength is king, those bullshit emotions are useless, in front of formidable power, all emotions are fart." Su Tiangao laughed and said, "Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan might be killed soon." When Xiao Xianqin heard this, she immediately became anxious and rushed over. No one expected her to suddenly go over. After Xiao Xianqin rushed over, she was unable to enter the area where the golden light was. She was blocked by a very strong power. The translucent golden light that descended from the sun's core enveloped an area of several thousand meters. The group of people inside rolled around, howled and bit. It was like hell on earth, causing one's scalp to go numb. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan stood at the side to avoid being attacked by the demonized people. They only hoped that the assessment would end quickly. "Yuan, Xiao Yun, you must hold on," Xiao Xianqin shouted from the side. At this time, Yang Tianhen, Yang Wuxin and Yang Kuei also went over and arrived at the side of the area. If the sun's core assessment ended, those demonized people would definitely rush out in a frenzy. Yang Tianhen and the others watched from the side so that they could take action in time when the assessment ended. The experts of the Su family and the Xie race also rushed to the side. They felt that although those Earth immortals had been demonized, they still had very strong power. They could not be killed by the Yang family. "Yang Tianhen, listen to me. If it ends and you dare to kill a single person from my Su family, I will fight you to the death," Su Tian said in a cold voice. "What if they act recklessly?" Yang Tianhen said with sneer. "Look at those guys, can they still be considered humans? Those people have been tortured to the point that their entire bodies are black and red. Their clothes have long been torn apart, their skin and muscles have become pitch black and bloody. Their bodies are releasing a very terrifying evil devil power. Even if they aren't humans, they are still pretty good warriors. Can't I capture them and turn them into ghost beasts? Su Tian shouted. Don't randomly find a reason to kill them. They used a lot of resources to nurture them. What he was worried about came true. Those people who have been tortured to the point of becoming evil devils, the evil devil aura on their bodies suddenly became even stronger. Suddenly, an evil devil stood up. His clothes are tattered and his body is inflated by the evil devil power. He is more than 2.5 meters tall, like a small giant. The evil devil's entire body is pitch black and there is a thick black liquid flowing out. His eyes are completely red and his entire body is covered in black gas. Kill all of you! Kill all of you! The evil devil let out a creepy laugh and then charged at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. These damned demons! Xiao Xianqin cursed in a low voice. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon can only separate and avoid the evil devil that is charging at them. The evil devil's reaction is very fast. Seeing Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon dodge, it immediately leaped towards Qin Yun and punched, releasing a whistling evil aura. Scram! Qin Yun bellowed and kicked the evil devil, sending it flying. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are enduring pain. Furthermore, they have to face the attacks of the evil devils. Just thinking about it, one can tell how cruel this test is. Haha, well done. Su Tian laughed loudly and said, Quickly kill them, they are also suffering and their cultivation is low. Quickly kill them. After Qin Yun sent the evil devil flying, Xiao Yuelon gritted her teeth and raised her hand. The sleeves on her arms suddenly overflowed with energy. Her slender jade-white fingers slightly trembled and shot out a white energy. Boom! It is the piercing mountain-splitting earth finger. It also carries an overwhelming righteous power as it struck the evil devil's head. The evil devil's head was pierced through in an instant. This immediately caused many people to be extremely shocked. The people in the distance all let out cries of alarm. Isn't her cultivation very low? How can she easily pierce through an earth immortal's head? Someone from the Su family exclaimed. Those two guys' cultivation should not be low. They are very strong. Su Hong cursed in a low voice. These two bastards, what exactly is their cultivation? Chapter 1443 1443 Chapter 1443 Evil Devil goes berserk. When Qin Yun saw the evil devil rushing towards Xiao Yuelon, he endured the pain and released a large string of tree vines to bind the evil devil's legs. Then he shouted, Yuelon, kill that guy! Xiao Yuelon originally thought that she could just destroy the evil devil's head, but she never expected that the evil devil's body is being driven by evil power and not the soul inside the head. The evil devil no longer has a soul, it is being driven by the evil devil's brutal power. Xiao Yuelon is enduring the pain, causing the power she can release to be limited. When she raised her hand, she felt pain in her arm. However, she had no choice but to raise her hand because the evil devil is constantly struggling and will soon be able to break free from the tree vines released by Qin Yun. After she raised her hand, a light beam shot out from her fingertip. It is like a very long light sword. This is finger slashing mountains and rivers. It can turn finger power into a sharp energy light sword. So. She waved a few times and cut the evil devil's body into 8 pieces. After the evil devil was dismembered, Su Tiangao and the others' expression became even more unsightly. Because Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's power is not as weak as they imagined, on the contrary, they are very strong. Quickly go kill them! Su Tiangao shouted from outside. Quickly go! Xieyang clan leader also shouted. Even if they can't obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they don't want to see Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon obtain it. They even hope that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon will be killed. Roar! Suddenly, 2 evil devils, who seem to have already completed their evolution, crazily rushed towards Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. Retreat! Xiao Yuelon shouted. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are enduring the pain, so they don't want to fight at close range. Because while enduring the pain, their movements will become slow. In close-range combat, a little carelessness will result in serious injuries. They all had a tacit understanding in their hearts and quickly retreated, avoiding the two demons that were rushing over. That's it. Ha ha, quickly go, quickly kill them. Xie clan leader laughed sinisterly. Su family and Xie race people saw their own family members turn into evil devils. Their mood is very bad. But now that they saw that those evil devils might kill Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, they immediately cheered and incessantly encouraged those evil devils to kill Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan dodged the two incoming evil devils. They thought that they would continue to be chased. Unexpectedly, the two evil devils pounced towards the corpses on the ground. Xiao Yuelan previously used finger-severing mountains and rivers to cut an evil devil into 8 pieces, but now she has become food for other evil devils. The people on the sidelines felt their scalps go numb. This was because the evil demon was currently tearing at those broken corpses, crazily devouring them. They couldn't be considered humans at all. They had become true man-eating demons. Yang Tianhen's body trembled slightly when he saw this. If the disciples of the Yang clan also participated, the consequences would be unimaginable. He could not guarantee that the disciples of his clan would not end up like this. After all, not everyone could endure that kind of pain. Su Tiangao, you guys still want this kind of thing? Yang Tianhen said coldly. Devils? Look at how strong they are. Su Tiangao laughed. They need to eat people to survive. What are you going to feed them? Capture the Xie race? Devil Yun, if Yang devils will, Yang clan, Yun devils, devil, Yen and Yun devil, King Yang Yun, and Yun Yun, devil. You should be more worried about Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, they might be eaten. Su Hong laughed loudly. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuelan and said in a low voice, Yuelan, kill these 2 things. If they eat those things, they will become stronger. Alright. Xiao Yuelan immediately sent out a palm strike through the air, releasing a pure white flame. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and sent out a palm strike filled with flame towards one of the evil devils. 2 rumbling sounds rang out as the palm energy blasted out, exploding a kind of platinum flame. Within the white flame, there is a faint golden radiance lingering around it, releasing a righteous aura. The 2 evil devils were pierced through by the 2 palms. After the white flame touched the evil devil power, it burned even more vigorously. This is a flame specially used to purify evil devil power. As long as it touches the extremely evil and ruthless energy, it will burn even more fiercely. In just a short while, the 2 evil spirits were burnt to a crisp. Xiao Xianqin is now a lot more at ease. She is very worried that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan will not be able to come out. Not far from Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, there is a large group of evil devils entangling and biting each other. They are in the process of turning into evil devils. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan looked over and found it inconceivable. The trial power released by the sun's core actually directly created so many evil devils. Go get rid of those guys. Qin Yun shouted. Take advantage of the fact that we can endure the pain to attack and end them as soon as possible. Alright, be careful. Xiao Yuelan was the first to go over, she did not approach. When she got closer, she raised both of her hands and a white dragon appeared. That is the dragon condensed from the flames she released. And at this moment, Qin Yun also used the heavenly Tao's ferocious power within his body to roar out a heavenly lion's roar. The sound wave accompanied the white flames like a mighty wave. It rushed towards the group of evil devils that were about to come over. The flame-white dragon Xiao Yuelan condensed from flames suddenly roared ferociously and charged down. At the same time, it swung its dragon tail and swept away many of the evil devils that were about to come over. Qin Yun constantly used heavenly lion's roar. The sound wave accompanied the flames and shot out flame sound waves, igniting the pile of evil devils. All of you, quickly stop. Su Tiangao knows that the flames have a very strong purifying power and are specially used to deal with evil devils. If this goes on, those evil devils will definitely be killed. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan will not stop. They continue to cooperate with each other and release overwhelming righteous power. They condensed white flames to purify and burn those evil devils. Xie Yang Patriarch said in a sinister voice, "This is only an assessment, but you are killing people." "What is this?" Yang Wuxin said, "This is also part of the assessment. You didn't see them, those guys have all turned into evil devils. They want to kill them, they are doing this to protect themselves. But they are killing people." Su Tiangao is very unwilling. They originally thought that their Su family would be able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, but they never expected that at the beginning of the assessment, their Su family members would all turn into evil devils, and now they are being killed by others. If it doesn't conform to the assessment rules, then the sun's core will also stop them. Yang Wuxin looked at the assessment area and shouted, "Look, even the sun's core did not stop them. It is clear that this is allowed." Yang Tianhen said with a smile, "Did you see that? This assessment is very fair. Little brother Qin and Miss Yuelan's cultivation is not high, but they can endure that kind of pain. Furthermore, when facing the powerful evil devils, they did not retreat. Instead, they bravely fought back. As expected of the people chosen by the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Yang Kuei laughed loudly and said, "Su family, Xieyang race. You each sent 100 outstanding Earth immortals in, and look at the result now? It's not that strength is everything. Ha! The owner of the sun-suppressing divine arrow really has a way to deal with the evil devils. In the future, it will definitely be easy to deal with the Xieyang race." "Don't be complacent," Su Tiangao shouted angrily. "Even though Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan are enduring the pain, they can still release that kind of powerful flame." This indeed caused many people to be alarmed. Suddenly, an evil devil rushed out from the burning white flame. "Be careful!" Xiao Yuelan anxiously shouted and rushed towards Qin Yun. Qin Yun is also extremely astonished. He doesn't know why an evil devil rushed out, and it is very strong. The evil devil's entire body is burning with white flames. After rushing out, it punched towards Qin Yun's body. Crash! A black energy suddenly shot out like a gushing spring towards Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun was sent flying by the energy. What's even more terrifying is that the black energy is continuously pouring into Qin Yun's body. Xiao Yuelan is extremely alarmed and anxious. In her anger, she activated all the power in her body. Her entire body is filled with killing intent as she unleashed heaven-killing palm and attacked the evil devil that suddenly appeared. Boom! The evil devil was blasted down by Xiao Yuelan's palm, and its body turned into a large amount of white flames that splattered everywhere. Xiao Yuelan immediately went over and helped Qin Yun up. Su Tiangao laughed loudly and said, "He's hopeless. He was just injected with an evil thought. He's finished." Qin Yun's eyes turned black and a black aura appeared on his face. His eyes emitted a dense black light. There is no white in his eyes, it is as if he is about to turn into an evil devil. Many evil devils that are burning in the bonfire suddenly rushed over. Xiao Yuelan stood in front of Qin Yun and released a white shield, blocking the waves of black energy that the evil devils are attacking from a distance. Xiao Xianqin is very anxious. She repeatedly attacked the barrier, wanting to go in and help, but she couldn't break it no matter what. Qin Yun is lying on the ground. His body is constantly twitching, as if he is about to turn into an evil devil. Su Tiangao and Patriarch Xieyang laughed again and again, looking very happy. "Emissary Yang, what's going on?" Yang Tianhen asked anxiously. "I don't know. The sun's core gave a certain amount of power to those evil devils to attack Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. Yang Wuxin said in a low voice, "This is only my guess." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon did not expect this kind of situation to suddenly occur. Xiao Yuelon is very worried about Qin Yun, but she can't take care of him because she has to defend against those evil devils that are constantly attacking. Those evil devils suddenly seemed to be commanded by someone and did not approach. Instead, they released a kind of black evil energy from a distance. They also know that if they get too close, they will definitely be killed by Xiao Yuelon. "Xiao Yun, you have to hold on. I will definitely be able to block these guys." Xiao Yuelon gritted her teeth, enduring the pain while resisting the attacks of dozens of evil devils. Moreover, she also had to pay attention to Qin Yun's situation. Qin Yun is lying on the ground, as if he has lost consciousness. His body is slightly twitching and his eyes are spewing out black energy. There is a sign that he is about to turn into an evil devil. No one knows what happened to Qin Yun. They only know that his current situation is very wrong. Su Tiangao laughed and said, Qin Yun, you are also going to become an evil devil. When the time comes, I will also kill you." They can't wait for Qin Yun to die. Chapter 1444. Evil Yang Invasion. Qin Yun was attacked by the evil devil and a very strange black power entered his body. In that instant, he indeed suffered a very painful attack. Strangely enough, although the force caused him incomparable pain, his body was unable to cry out. Only his soul is screaming crazily. His soul seems to be separated from his body. He cannot control his body at all. "What's wrong with me? What kind of attack is this?" Qin Yun suddenly felt that his body is light as a feather. "Xiao Yun, your soul is separated from your body." Ling Yun-er's illusory voice came over. She shouted anxiously, "Quickly control your soul and enter your body. You are gradually moving away from me. There is a power that is depriving your soul." "What kind of power is it?" Qin Yun asked. "I don't know. It might be heavenly Tao power because now is your weakest time. The omnipresent heavenly Tao power wants to take away your soul." Ling Yun-er shouted, "Quickly recover." "How do I recover?" Qin Yun feels as if he is lying in water. Water rushed into his ears, and he heard a strange sound of flowing water. "I don't know. Yuelon is resisting the attack of those evil devils. If you don't recover, she will be attacked by those evil devils and then eaten." Ling Yun-er shouted anxiously. Qin Yun suddenly thought that it is most likely because of the sun core. Originally, the evil devils were about to be burned by the flame released by him and Xiao Yuelon. However, the sun core suddenly released a power and let those evil devils come out of the fire. Is it really heavenly Tao power? Qin Yun's heart surged with anger. He suddenly felt that he has been cheated by the heavenly Tao too miserably. Not to mention being forgotten by many people, at such a critical time, they still want to cheat him. "You want to kill Yuelon? Dream on." Suddenly, Qin Yun sensed the heavenly lion, divine hammer and dragon revolving around the nether sun. "My heavenly Tao is the true heavenly Tao," Qin Yun shouted in his heart. He controlled the heavenly lion to release a fierce heavenly Tao power and let out a roar. Qin Yun gradually sensed his body. Everything around him gradually became clear. He can feel Xiao Yuelon's heartbeat and smell the fragrance on Xiao Yuelon's body that makes him feel comfortable. "Yuelon!" Qin Yun suddenly opened his eyes and lightly shouted. The black gas on his body also disappeared. "Xiao Yun!" Xiao Yuelon shouted happily. "Are you all right?" "I'm fine now." Qin Yun opened his eyes and saw several wounds on Xiao Yuelon's body. They were all caused by the black energy. She was already enduring the pain, but she still had to face the fierce attacks of dozens of demons. This was indeed not easy. Qin Yun could sense that Xiao Yuelon was very tired, but she was still desperately protecting him. Xiao Yuelan's exhausted body exuded a determination to protect him even if she had to die. An inexplicable power suddenly surged into every part of Qin Yun's body. It broke through the pain that bound his soul and immediately filled him with energy. He didn't know what kind of power it was. He only knew that the power had a strong will that wanted him to protect the person he loved. That power came very suddenly, but Qin Yun did not find it unfamiliar because he had also felt this power when he was young. This power seemed to be something he was born with, and he only had one mission, which was to protect the people he loved. Qin Yun, who was lying on the ground, suddenly jumped up and rushed out in the blink of an eye. Xiao Yun! Xiao Yuelan shouted in alarm when she saw Qin Yun rush out. At this moment, Qin Yun acted as if nothing had happened. The expression of enduring the pain was gone, as if he was no longer restrained by the pain. No matter what power you have, stay away from me. Qin Yun's voice was ice-cold. After rushing over, he slammed his palm on the head of an evil devil. A domineering aura exploded out, accompanied by a dragon's roar. This is the power created by the combination of the Heavenly Tao Flame's violent power and the Heavenly Tao's arrogant power. It condensed the overwhelming righteous flame that purifies the evil devils and carried the tyrannical power of the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer as it surged out. Boom! That power poured into the top of the evil devil's head, and after the evil devil's body exploded, a wave of white flames surged out, and all the surrounding evil devils that were rushing over were cut in half at the waist. Roar, roar, roar! Those evil devils were cut into two by the energy wave and fell to the ground, screaming miserably. This scene caused the people outside to be dumbstruck. They could tell that those evil devils had suddenly become very strong. Just a bit more and they would be able to break through Xiao Yuelan's defense. However, Qin Yun, who suddenly jumped up, is even more terrifying. In an instant, he split those evil devils into two. All of you, go to hell! Qin Yun waved his hand and a large amount of white thunder and fire lightning descended from the sky. Boom, 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 boom! Those white thunder and fire lightning bolts were like dragons descending, the dragon heads attacking the evil devils on the ground. A white thunder and fire lightning bolt descended and turned an evil devil into flying ashes. It carried an arrogant and fierce aura. It was soul-stirring and very shocking. It didn't take long for all the demons to be killed. Qin Yun hurriedly arrived beside Xiao Yuelan and held her lily-white hand. He used his strong will to protect Xiao Yuelan's soul, preventing her soul from being destroyed by the energy released by the Sun Core. They're all dead. Su Tiangao thought that after the end of the assessment, there would be a few useful evil devils left. But now, they were turned into flying ashes by Qin Yun in a few moves. This made them feel incredulous. I'm fine. Xiao Yuelan smiled at Qin Yun and said softly, I was really worried to death just now. I'll be fine. Qin Yun held Xiao Yuelan's lily-white hand tightly and looked at the sun core in the sky. His expression became very solemn. Just now, it was the power released by the Sun Core that wanted to destroy him and Xiao Yuelan. This made him suspect that there was something else inside the Sun Core. Is the assessment still not over? Qin Yun looked at Yang Wuxin and asked. Yang Wuxin is also astonished because Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan no longer seem to feel pain. However, the barrier released by the Sun Core is still there. Qin Yun can't come out and no one else can enter. I don't know. Everything was arranged by the Sun Core. Yang Wuxin said anxiously. There seems to be a problem. Everyone was discussing this because this test was simply too strange. Boom. Qin Yun punched the barrier. He wanted to open it but he did not succeed. The barrier is very strong. Wait for me to return to the Sun Core and take a look. Yang Wuxin quickly said and took out a token. The token flashed and Yang Wuxin turned into a ray of light and rushed towards the Sun Core in the sky. Su Tiangao and Patriarch Xieyang are now looking at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon with sinister expressions, because their people have been killed by Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. This is a huge loss to them. Not long after, Yang Wuxin came down and said with an ugly expression, "You too, there is indeed a problem." A black gas suddenly appeared inside the Sun Core. It is that black gas that is controlling the Sun Core. What exactly is inside the Sun Core? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. Nothing much. There is a space inside and the sun-suppressing divine arrow is in that space. Right now it is filled with all kinds of black gas. I guess that the Sun Core might have been infiltrated by the evil Yang power. Yang Wuxin glanced at the Xieyang race people. The Xieyang race people entering the tribe is very likely related to them. Yang Tianhen said coldly. In that case, exterminating the Xieyang race people is enough? I knew that if we let these fellows enter our tribe, something would happen sooner or later. Yang Tianhen, what are you trying to do? I am the patriarch of the heart-protecting divine race, I allowed them to enter. Furthermore, we have already made peace with the Xieyang race, there can be no war. Su Tiangao said coldly. You are not allowed to attack them. Yang Tianhen took out a long saber and said, It's fine to chase them out, right? Xieyang race bastards, if you don't scram out of our tribe, you are dead for sure. I, Yang Tianhen, will do what I say. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are very anxious because they are trapped inside. Furthermore, it was done by that evil Yang power. Let's go. Patriarch Xieyang faintly smiled. In short, there is a sun-suppressing divine arrow, it must be ours. These guys, they really have a conspiracy. Yang Tianhen angrily rushed over and wanted to slash down with his saber but was blocked by Su Tiangao's large sword. Because there are many Yang family members here, and all of them want to kill the Xieyang race. At this moment, the Xieyang race is being escorted by the Su family and hastily leaving. Su Tiangao, you colluded with the Xieyang race to harm the Sun's core. You traitors! Yang Tianhen said coldly. The Xieyang race must have come in and done something, that's why the Sun's core was infiltrated by the evil Yang power. If we did anything against the clan rules, we would definitely be punished by the Sun's core. But now, it is clear that everything we did was reasonable. Su Tiangao chuckled and said, Let's go. The Su family left but Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are still trapped inside the golden light barrier. The sun's core continuously shot down golden light, enveloping a large area. As long as the sun's core does not retract its power, they will not be able to come out. Young emissary, are you eating shit? Yang Tianhen said angrily. You should have helped us deal with the Xieyang race just now. If you had fought with the Xieyang race until both sides suffered heavy losses or the Su family suffered heavy losses, in the end, the ones who would be injured would be you and the ones who would benefit would either be the Xieyang race or the Su family. Yang Wuxin said, Right now, the most important thing is to get them out. What about the other Sun's core? Is there any problem? Qin Yun asked. The one in charge of testing you is the third Sun's core, now there's a problem. As for the fourth Sun's core, there's no problem. I'll go in and see if I can get the divine arrow to come out and help. Yang Wuxin immediately took out his token and flew towards the fourth Sun's core. Not long after he left, the fourth Sun's core shot out a beam of light towards the third Sun's core. Not long after, the light beam enveloping Qin Yun and company disappeared. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon can come out? The Yang family immediately cheered. When the Su family saw this, they all felt very unhappy. Xiao Xian Qin immediately rushed over and hugged Xiao Yuelon, worried that something might happen to her. Just as Xiao Yuelon came out, a dark red ray of light shot over. It is her sun-suppressing divine arrow. After she reached out and grabbed it, she was brought towards the fourth Sun's core by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow is inside the third sun's core, and it is also the one that has a problem. Chapter 1445. 9 Evil Sun. Xiao Yuelon was brought to the heart of the sun by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Because Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow was invaded by the evil yang power, it was unable to come down to receive him. Not long after, Yang Wuxin came down from above. "I'll bring you to the heart of the third sun. Let's talk inside," Yang Wuxin said. "The sun-suppressing divine arrow inside is not optimistic. We must quickly disperse the evil yang power, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable." Yang Tianhen and the others are also very worried. If something happened to the heart of the sun, they would also be responsible, and might even be punished. "It's all the fault of those bastards," Su Tiangao. "Are they not afraid of death?" Su Tiangao cursed. "If something happens to the heart of the sun, we will be punished. Yang family patriarch, please be a bit stronger. Don't let the Xie Yang race people enter the tribe's barrier again. Only by entering here can they come into contact with the heart of the sun. They must have used some secret technique to let the evil yang power seep into the heart of the sun," Yang Wuxin warned solemnly. "Fortunately, it's only the heart of the sun that has a problem, it can still be saved." Yang Tianhen nodded and said, "We understand. If the Xie Yang race people come again, we will throw them out no matter what." "All right, I'll bring little brother Qin into the heart of the third sun now," Yang Wuxin said. Inside, only Yang Wuxin could fly. He brought Qin Yun and flew towards the heart of the sun. Although his speed was not fast, he could at least fly up. The reason why the Heart Yang realm forbids flying is because they don't want people to fly into the sky and come into contact with the heart of the sun. Therefore, the Xie Yang race people have been unable to approach the heart of the sun many times. Only this time, when the Xie Yang race people entered the tribe, would they have the chance to get close to the heart of the sun. Although they did not fly up, they must have used some method to let the evil yang power seep into the heart of the sun. On the Su family's side, Su Tiangao is in a secret room and shouted angrily, "That bastard Yang Tianhen, he actually didn't give me any face. I am the patriarch of the heart-protecting divine race." The heart of the sun was infiltrated by the evil yang power. Was it done by the Xie Yang race? Su Hong asked. If the Xie Yang race obtains a sun core and a sun-suppressing divine arrow, wouldn't our Su family be controlled by them? I don't know. The evil Yang race has always been very cunning. I let them in because I felt that it was impossible for them to cause any trouble. Now, it seems that they have a way to secretly infiltrate the evil Yang energy into the sun's core. As Su Tiangao spoke of this matter, his complexion gradually became gloomy. In the later part of the assessment, a very big problem suddenly appeared. It is very likely that it was caused by the evil Yang energy. Su Hong smiled and said, "Only the sun's heart is in trouble. This doesn't affect our Su family much. On the other hand, Qin Yun can't enter the heart of the sun to cultivate, nor can he obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Su Tiangao laughed. If the evil Yang race really gets their hands on the heart of the sun and the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they will definitely deal with the Yang family. At that time, they and the Yang clan will both suffer great losses, and that will be the time when our Su clan dominates the Heart Yang realm, haha. Qin Yun and Yang Wuxin flew towards the sun's heart in the sky. Looking at the gradually approaching sun's heart, he asked, "Yang emissary, can you still enter the other sun's heart? The first, second and fourth sun's heart are all occupied, I can't go in anymore." We emissaries usually only stay on the surface of the sun's heart to check if there are any spatial cracks nearby, because the evil Yang race can tear through space and bring in the evil Yang energy. Yang Wuxin said, "What's going on with those two bald emissaries from before? They seem to want to take the sun-suppressing divine arrow for themselves." Qin Yun said, I suspect that after the evil Yang race entered the tribe, they thought of a way to attack your emissaries and then use those emissaries to infiltrate the sun's heart. I will definitely investigate this matter thoroughly. Yang Wuxin's expression suddenly turned ugly as he cursed in a low voice. Evil Yang race bastards, they are truly too despicable. Not long after, they touched the surface of the sun's heart. After approaching, Qin Yun felt that the sun's heart was the size of the moon. Its surface was somewhat cold and not hot at all. However, the light it released made people feel very warm when it shone on the ground. Yang Wuxin took out the token and was able to penetrate the hard crystal on the surface of the sun's heart and enter the glowing central region. After Qin Yun followed in, he felt very strange. It was as if he was immersed in a light golden liquid. His entire body was wrapped in warm water, it was very soft and comfortable. Furthermore, breathing was smooth and he could absorb a very strange power. They weren't walking in the water, they were swimming. The interior of this sun's heart is truly strange, Qin Yun thought. And this kind of power is very special. I wonder how it is formed. Ling Yun is also very surprised. After a while, Qin Yun followed Yang Wuxin into the central region. Inside the central region is a very spacious stone room. Arriving here, Qin Yun felt a very familiar feeling. Back then, when he was at the 9 Extinction Gate, he had once entered the interior of the gigantic sun-suppressing divine arrow. The 4 walls were filled with all sorts of totems and runes related to the sun. And this stone room is the same. The runes on the walls emitted a faint golden radiance. The runes and totems on the walls seemed to be flowing. This is a sun rune that can move. This is not the first time Qin Yun has seen such a rune. The last time he saw it, it was created by the star god. It was very strange, and seemed to be able to release a very strong energy. Where's the evil Yang power? After Qin Yun entered, he saw the sun-suppressing divine arrow inserted in the middle of the circular stone room. Strange, there was a lot of black evil Yang power here just now. Why did it suddenly disappear? Could it be that it was eliminated by the sun's heart itself? Yang Wuxin said with a frown. Qin Yun walked over and held the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He said in surprise, "This sun-suppressing divine arrow, I can't establish a connection with it. Does it not belong to me?" When Yang Wuxin heard Qin Yun's words, he hurriedly shouted, "Quickly release the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The evil Yang power is controlling the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Qin Yun hurriedly shook off the sun-suppressing divine arrow. However, he discovered that the sun-suppressing divine arrow was stuck to his palm. A black gas suddenly gushed out and drilled into his palm. In an instant, his arm swelled up and his sleeves burst open. His entire arm turned pitch black and a black gas surged out. "This is bad." Yang Wuxin's expression changed greatly as he shouted, "Little brother Qin, I'll cut off your hand." "No need." Qin Yun suddenly became very calm because the evil Yang power could only flow through his arm and not enter his body. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit on his wrist is also constantly absorbing the energy of the sun's heart. Then, it released a powerful power to suppress the evil Yang power. "Emissary Yang, you go out first. I can handle it." Qin Yun's voice is very calm. It can be seen that he is not afraid of the evil Yang power at all. Yang Wuxin knew that Qin Yun is very powerful and is highly regarded by the divine arrow's spirit. When he saw that the evil Yang power could not enter Qin Yun's body, he felt a lot more at ease. Qin Yun is much calmer than him. "Alright." Yang Wuxin nodded and quickly left the stone room. Qin Yun gripped the sun-suppressing divine arrow tightly and said with a sneer, "Evil Yang power? If you hide well, you might be able to achieve your goal. But you met me and you even want to attack me. Then you can only blame your bad luck. Yuner, start devouring the evil Yang power," Qin Yun said in his heart. "Alright." Ling Yuner said with a smile, "Nether Sun is the most awesome. What evil yang power is nothing in front of Nether Sun? After Ling Yuner activated the Nether Sun, the evil yang power seemed to be very afraid. It tried its best to leave Qin Yun's arm and return to the sun-suppressing divine arrow. However, the devouring power produced by the Nether Sun has already locked onto the evil yang power. Ah! The muscles on Qin Yun's arm suddenly bulged. It seems like something is running out of his skin. Furthermore, it seems like someone is shouting under his arm, issuing all kinds of shout. Qin Yun said with a smile. So this evil yang power is a very strong soul body. This guy is finished. Devour this kind of powerful soul body and dissolve the power. I will use it to cultivate my soul. The Nether Sun is like a large furnace. It can dissolve all kinds of energy and then transform them into the purest primitive energy. After the soul body is dissolved, there will definitely be a lot of pure mental power that can be absorbed. In just a moment, Qin Yun's pitch-black arm also gradually returned to its original appearance. The black gas disappeared. It's been devoured, Ling Yuner said with a charming smile. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand once again turned fiery red, as if it is wrapped in a layer of flame. Divine arrow spirit. What the hell is going on? Qin Yun asked. Can't the sun-suppressing divine arrow control the sun core? Why not control the sun core and exterminate the Su family and the evil yang race people? I can't do it, Divine Arrow Spirit said. The sun core is not completely under my control. Let's put it this way, 9 suns have 9 pure suns. They are the 9 fiery red suns that you can see in the 9 desolate. Now there are only 3 9 pure suns left in the sky of the 9 desolate. Other than the 9 pure suns, there is also the 9 evil sun. The 9 evil sun is the dark side of the 9 pure suns. And the 9 sun core is the common 9 pure suns and 9 evil Sunday. They have always been fighting for control. Qin Yun is not surprised because this kind of existence is quite normal. Once the 9 pure suns are destroyed, the 9 evil sun will be able to control the sun core. You people who have the sun-suppressing divine arrow, your main task is to suppress the evil yang power and not let the sun core be controlled by the evil yang. Divine Arrow Spirit said again, you should quickly cultivate. As long as you become a 9th stage Earth Immortal, with the strength of the 4 of you, it will be enough to fight against the evil yang race. Qin Yun asked. As long as we exterminate the evil yang race beside the Heart Yang realm, we can return to the Immortal Desolate, right? Chapter 1446. Seizing Heart, Qin Yun sat in the middle of the stone room, holding the sun-suppressing divine arrow and asked, What are outer realm beings? They are people from other star fields. The universe is very big and there are many star fields that can give birth to powerful beings, including humans and beasts. Before the 9 sun world extermination, they might come because they know that before the world is exterminated, the remaining sun will descend a lot of resources. Divine Arrow Spirit said. Qin Yun also began to absorb the power of the sun core. He is still at the 9th level of Xian, Immortal Realm, and has not yet become an Earth Immortal, but his strength is also very strong. Otherwise, he and Xiao Yuan would not have been able to deal with those devils. While cultivating, Qin Yun took out the dim 9 Sun Divine Hammer and asked the Divine Arrow Spirit. 9 Sun Divine Hammer is a sun soul. Because the sun fell, it was damaged. Now I can only use the core fragment to temporarily awaken the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. Is there a way to permanently awaken the 9 Sun Divine Hammer? Yes, but the process is very difficult. Your current cultivation is too low and you need some materials. Divine Arrow Spirit said. In the future, not only the 9 Sun Divine Hammer will sleep, any divine weapon or divine tool born from the sun will fall into a deep sleep, including the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun sighed helplessly. He thought that after entering the sun core, there would be a way to awaken the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. In this way, he would not need to consume the core fragment in the future. He doesn't have many core fragments in his hands, and it will be very difficult to get more in the future. As his cultivation increases, if Qin Yun wants to temporarily awaken the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, he will need to consume more core fragments. Cultivate in peace. As long as you can become stronger, you can rebirth the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. Divine Arrow Spirit said. His voice also gradually became weaker. Divine Arrow Spirit. Divine Arrow Spirit. Qin Yun shouted a few times but did not get any response. He doesn't know what is going on. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, this Divine Arrow Spirit should not be able to communicate with people often. It can only occasionally communicate with people who possess the sun-suppressing Divine Arrow. Qin Yun still had some questions to ask, but now, he could only cultivate in peace. While cultivating, he looked at his nether Sunday. At this moment, the Heavenly Lion is still producing totem runes. Yuner, how can Nether Sun Totem completely appear on Heavenly Lion, Divine Hammer and Little White Dragon? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. In short, as your cultivation increases, more and more Nether Sun Totems will appear. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, when you used your power before, you did not completely dig out the power of the Nether Sun Totem. How can I use the power of the Nether Sun Totem? Please teach me. Qin Yun also doesn't know how to cultivate Nether Sunday. Even if he has Nether Sun Totem, he doesn't know how to use its special ability. Ling Yuner said, When you stop cultivating, I will see if there is any way to stimulate the power of the Nether Sun Totems. Totems had all sorts of special abilities, and the main thing was to comprehend them in order to understand how to use the totem's special abilities. Qin Yun has Nether Sun for a long time, and Nether Sun's ability is mainly controlled by Ling Yun. At that moment, Qin Yun was inside the heart of the sun. The energy he absorbed was provided by the heart of the sun. Only by absorbing the energy provided by the sun's core and cultivating to become stronger could the sun-suppressing Divine Arrow's greatest power be unleashed. Soon, a few days passed. Qin Yun has now broken through to Earth Immortal Realm. What surprised him is that when he broke through to Earth Immortal Realm, the Heavenly Lion revolving around his nether sun suddenly roared, and its whole body emitted golden flame. Can I summon it? Qin Yun's heart stirred. He wanted to summon the Heavenly Lion, but he did not succeed. Ling Yuner said with smile, I can't summon it, but I can make the little Heavenly Lion enter your body. Roar. With a thought from Qin Yun, the little Heavenly Lion near the nether sun suddenly disappeared, and his arm fiercely spewed out energy flame. He promptly rolled up his sleeves and saw that his light golden arm is overflowing with a trace of flame, and the nether sun totem is flowing on the surface of his skin. This is Heavenly Tao's ferocious power. It can be attached to my body? Qin Yun clenched his fist. He can feel that the power inside the nether sun can directly rush into his arm and be released through the nether sun totem on his arm. It can become even more powerful. Boom. He punched the ground and burst out with boundless ferocious power. Feeling the ferocious power rushing out from his arm, Qin Yun is wild with joy. Very good. Qin Yun said with smile. After cultivating for so long, the little Heavenly Lion can finally unleash a very strong power. Xiao Yun, the immortal power inside the nether sun, has also transformed into Earth Immortal Power. Your Earth Immortal Power combined with the nether sun totem will definitely become even stronger. Ling Yun said. Then I will continue cultivating. Next I should start cultivating the Divine Hammer, right? Qin Yun sat down again and began operating the Immortal Devil Sacred Body Art and One Thought Imperial Heaven Art. The Immortal Devil Sacred Body Art can cultivate body and immortal power. The One Thought Imperial Heaven Art can cultivate soul and enhance mental power. What made Qin Yun puzzled is that after he entered the Earth Immortal Realm, he is still cultivating the little Heavenly Lion. It seems like there is no end to making the little heavenly lion produce more nether sun totem. The heavenly lion is the heavenly Tao's ferocious power. Could it be that it has not been cultivated to the limit? Qin Yun is very doubtful. The heavenly lion should not have been cultivated to the limit. Ling Yuner said, continue cultivating and see. In any case, it can make your heavenly Tao's ferocious power even stronger. Qin Yun wants to cultivate the little divine hammer, but now that he is not in control, he can only let nature take its course. The Heart Yang Realm's Heart Protection Divine Race tribe has become much quieter in the past few days. On the Su family's side, when they learned that Qin Yun successfully entered the sun's heart to cultivate, they were extremely jealous. Previously, Xie Qiru and Qin Long said that they wanted to join the Yang family. And Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon have a very good relationship with the Yang family. Once they come out of the sun's heart, they will definitely be suppressed by the Yang family to the point that they won't be able to raise their heads. Furthermore, the 4 people with the sun-suppressing divine arrow will definitely be the strongest 4 Earth immortals. Whether it is to deal with the evil Yang race or the Su family, they will be a very strong force. In this way, the Heart Yang realm will definitely be controlled by the Yang family. After Su Tiangao and a few clan elders analyzed, they realized that their Su family will definitely be settled by the Yang family in the future. Patriarch, what do you think we should do now? Previously, we had such a big conflict with the Yang family, and we are also so close to the evil Yang race. Once the Yang family gains power, they will definitely deal with us. An old man said. We have no way out. Su Tiangao said coldly. Go find the evil Yang race. Secretly let the patriarch of the evil Yang race come in. No matter what they want to do, we will support them. As long as they can stop the Yang family from gaining power. Then, will they destroy the sun's heart? An old man said worriedly. If the sun's heart is destroyed, we will be punished. Punished? The current sun's heart simply doesn't have the ability to punish us. Su Tiangao said with a sneer. Previously, when the sun's heart was invaded by the evil Yang power, didn't it have any reaction? If we really wanted to punish, our Su family would have been finished long ago. The other clan elders all nodded in relief. An old man said in a low voice, Patriarch, then you mean, Su Tiangao chuckled and said, the sun's heart is very powerful and there are still sun-suppressing divine arrows inside. The evil Yang race has a way to obtain the sun's heart. We can cooperate with them and let them pass the method to us, and we will also cooperate. The sun's heart was originally very weak. Back then in the divine desolate, it was almost obtained by those powerful gods. And now, 6 of the 9 suns have fallen, so the sun's heart is even weaker. Furthermore, it has to fight against the 9 evil sun. Now is the best time for us to get rid of the sun's heart and control it. Su Tiangao's eyes were filled with fanaticism as he laughed loudly. We will definitely succeed. Those bullshit clan rules are just to fool people. What the Su family had been doing during this period of time was to constantly test the bottom line of the sun's heart. They also discovered that the sun's heart was not as terrifying as the legends said. It only contained a very powerful regenerative energy. Qin Yun entered the sun's heart to cultivate for 10 days. Previously, when he broke through to the Earth Immortal stage, he was able to use the Heavenly Lion's proud force. Although he had yet to step into the second stage of Earth Immortal, he knew that the next step was to cultivate the proud force of the Heavenly Tao. However, just when he thought that it would be very smooth, he suddenly felt that his surroundings were filled with evil Yang power. What's going on? Qin Yun was extremely alarmed. He immediately held onto the sun-suppressing divine arrow tightly. He constantly shouted for the spirit of the divine arrow, but there was no response. The sun's heart that he was in was once again invaded by the evil Yang power. The sudden influx of a large amount of evil Yang power caused Qin Yun to feel suffocated. Fortunately, He cultivated the immortal devil sacred body, and was able to resist the invasion of the evil yang power. Although the evil yang power could invade his body, it was unable to destroy his powerful immortal devil sacred body. Furthermore, it would be absorbed and devoured by the nether sun. At this moment, Yang Tianhen and the others in the tribe below all raised their heads and looked at the third sun's heart that Qin Yun was in. Patriarch, what's going on with the sun's heart that Brother Qin is in? Why did it suddenly turn black? Yang Kuei said in shock. At this time, Yang Wuxin flew down and shouted, "There's a problem. That sun's heart has been infiltrated by a very strong evil yang power. There must be someone from the evil yang race who entered the tribe to cause trouble." Yang Tianhen looked at the Su family and said angrily, "It must be that bastard Su Tiangao's doing. I'll go and kill them right now." Yang Kuei shouted, "Emissary Yang, Brother Qin is still inside? What should we do?" Yang Wuxin's expression turned grave as he shook his head and said, "I can't go in right now. Little Brother Qin should be able to take care of it." At this moment, the people of the heart-protecting divine race suddenly shouted. Because around the black sun's heart, many black spatial cracks appeared. There is an incomparably terrifying evil pressure that tore apart the spatial cracks, wanting to suck away the sun's heart. This is bad. Yang Wuxin's expression changed greatly. Just as he was about to fly up, the sun's heart was suddenly dragged into the spatial crack and disappeared. Soon after, the surrounding spatial cracks also quickly healed. Chapter 1447. Evil Yang Realm Qin Yun, who is in the heart of the sun, constantly devoured the evil yang power that seeped in. But because there were too many of them, he couldn't devour them all. Why is the evil yang energy increasing? Qin Yun was puzzled as he held the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. He constantly shouted for the divine arrow's spirit, but there was no response. Ling Yuner said anxiously, "Xiao Yun, something big happened. I felt a very strong spatial ripple just now. Xieyang might have been taken to the Xieyang world." Qin Yun is inside the sun core. He does not know that the sun core has been dragged into the evil yang realm. Is that really possible? The sun core was so huge, how did it end up in the evil yang realm? Besides, aren't there Yang Wuxin and the other envoys guarding outside? Qin Yun did not dare to believe that this was true. Yang Wuxin and his group are not reliable at all. Ling Yuner sighed. "Xiao Yun, the heart of the sun has entered the evil yang realm. The experts of the evil yang race should be entering soon. Qin Yun is surrounded by evil yang power. Furthermore, he does not know how to leave the stone room. Motherfucker, what the hell is going on?" Qin Yun cursed in his heart. It was very abnormal during the assessment. He entered the heart of the sun to clear the evil yang energy. He thought that he could cultivate in the heart of the sun with peace of mind. But now, the sun core was brought to the evil yang realm. The heart protector god race couldn't even protect such a huge thing. This made him very disappointed. Suddenly, the sun-suppressing divine arrow trembled and released a burst of strong light. The voice of the divine arrow's spirit came from inside. The heart of the sun has indeed been taken to the evil yang realm. But you don't have to worry about the most important heart crystal inside the heart of the sun, said the spirit of the divine arrow. Heart crystal? Where? Asked Qin Yun. Just as he finished speaking, a small bead suddenly appeared in the middle of the stone room. It was only the size of a child's fist. To be exact, this is the real sun's core. The sun-suppressing divine arrow continued. The outer layer is the protective layer condensed by the sun's core. The protective layer formed was like a huge crystalline star. Qin Yun picked up the very small sun core and said, "The protective layer is so huge, but it is still unable to resist the invasion of the evil yang power. There's nothing we can do about it. Right now, the sun's heart is at its weakest. Furthermore, the power released by the sun's heart is connected to the Heart Protection Divine Tribe. Through the Heart Protection Divine Tribe, someone guided the evil yang power inside. The spirit of the divine arrow said, "Protect that heart crystal well. That is the true sun's heart." Qin Yun placed the sun's core into the 9-yang divine spirit and asked, "Divine arrow spirit, why do you sometimes speak and sometimes don't?" "Because I can't communicate with you sometimes. I'm also being disturbed by the power of the evil yang." The spirit of the divine arrow said, "The reason why I chose you is because of your potential. I know that you will definitely be able to protect the heart of the sun." When Qin Yun heard the voice of the divine arrow's spirit gradually weaken, he knew that he was about to lose contact again. He originally wanted to ask how to get out, but now he could not contact the spirit of the divine arrow, so he could only continue to stay in this stone room filled with black gas. If Qin Yun saw the outer shell of the sun's heart from outside, he would know why he can't go out. Because the thick layer of light golden crystal on the outer shell of the sun's heart has now turned pitch black. Inside the evil yang realm, there is also a large prairie. A huge black sun's heart is floating on top of it. It is very strange. Many evil yang race people below are cheering. Evil yang race leader said with smile, "Very good, we finally got a sun's heart. This is all thanks to evil yang." This evil yang realm is only a small one. It was created mainly to obtain the heart yang realm's sun's heart. Patriarch Xie is also the patriarch of this evil yang realm. There are many other evil yang realms. The evil yang race people there are even more powerful. Patriarch Xie and many elders flew up one after another. They are all holding large black swords in their hands. After they approached the outer shell of the sun's heart, a black gas penetrated the thick outer shell and rushed inside. "Let's go in, Qin Yun should be inside. I wonder if he was killed by the evil yang power." Patriarch Xie laughed sinisterly. "If he is still alive, we will make him suffer a fate worse than death." Qin Yun obtained the real sun's heart. What is floating above the evil yang realm is just an outer shell without heart crystal. Although it contains a lot of energy, once the energy is used up, it can no longer be regenerated. Qin Yun, who is inside the stone room, suddenly sensed people coming in and a lot of them. He immediately became vigilant. "It's you." Qin Yun suddenly sensed Patriarch Xie Yang's aura. "Qin Yun, you are actually still alive. You are truly amazing." Patriarch Xie Yang saw that Qin Yun is still alive. Although he is somewhat shocked, he is even more happy. If Qin Yun died, he would not be able to torture Qin Yun anymore. Qin Yun is only a first-stage Earth Immortal, and there are more than 10 ninth-stage Earth Immortals here. They are all the strongest in the evil Yang race. "All of you, go die." Qin Yun took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow, flew over and stabbed at Patriarch Xie Yang. "Don't even think about being arrogant in our territory." Patriarch Xie Yang is still very strong and the black sword in his hand is also very powerful. Seeing Qin Yun stabbing the sun-suppressing divine arrow at him, he quickly waved his sword and slashed. The black sword slashed out, creating a sword wind that looks like a demon laughing sinisterly. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand was hit. He also felt that the evil power is very strong. It shook his arm and made him feel pain. At this moment, the other old men also made their move. Each of them held a black chain with thorns. The chain was thrown out and actually pierced through Qin Yun's body. More than 10 chains pierced through Qin Yun's body and tied him up. Qin Yun is very clear that he is unable to fight against these powerful 9th-stage Earth Immortals. He can only quickly put away the sun-suppressing divine arrow to prevent it from being stolen. Originally, he thought that the sun-suppressing divine arrow would protect its master, but there was no movement just now. Could it be because the power of the sun's heart was cut off from the sun-suppressing divine arrow, so the sun-suppressing divine arrow did not protect its master? Qin Yun thought. Although his body was pierced by many chains, he did not feel any pain. He is thinking of a way to escape. The real sun's heart is stored in the 9 sun divine soul, that is why it was cut off from the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun, when you were protecting the heart-protecting God race, you could only be so arrogant because of Yang Tianhen and his group of bastards. Now that you don't have their protection, you finally know how weak you are. Patriarch Xieyang saw that Qin Yun is tightly bound by the chains and laughed. This is great, not only can we get the sun's heart, we can also capture Qin Yun. Qin Yun killed Xie Tailing and Xie Yuanfeng. He is the #1 enemy of the Xieyang race. Patriarch Xieyang is very happy to capture this #1 enemy. Kill me if you have the guts, Qin Yun said coldly. Kill you? Isn't that too easy for you? Ah! Patriarch Xieyang shouted. Throw him into the evil dragon mountain. Qin Yun blamed the stone room for being too small, causing him to be unable to take out the powerful floating cloud pagoda, otherwise he would not have been captured. After coming to the surface, Qin Yun is being held by a dozen old men of the Xieyang race. Patriarch Xieyang has a long whip in his hand and is constantly whipping Qin Yun. On the side, there were many people watching. Some of the Xieyang Patriarch's men had entered the heart-protecting divine races tried before, so they all knew that it was Qin Yun. This is the person who has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He is the one who killed great General Xie Tailing. He is actually captured, someone said in shock. As expected of the Patriarch, not only did he get the sun's heart, he also captured this guy. This is great. I heard that when he passed the test, he killed 100 of our Earth immortals. Now that he is captured, we cannot let him die easily. Those idiots from the Yang family, they can't even protect him. He. Su family has helped us a lot this time. If not for them cooperating with us, we would not have the chance to sneak into the heart-protecting God race's tribe. Ha ha ha. Patriarch Xieyang suddenly laughed. He waved the whip in his hand and whipped Qin Yun. Everyone, this is the #1 enemy of our Xieyang race. He also has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Originally, he was supposed to cultivate inside the sun's heart, but now he is captured by me. Patriarch, what do you plan to do with this guy? Someone asked. Throw him into the evil dragon mountain. Patriarch Xieyang laughed sinisterly. Tens of thousands of Xieyang race people nearby immediately cried out in shock. Throw him into the evil dragon mountain? It's like hell in there. The evil dragon mountain has imprisoned our Xieyang race's prisoners. Those who violated the rules of the Xieyang race are all suicidal, if not for the fact that we need to keep them alive to cause trouble in the Heart Yang realm, we would have already killed them. Kill them? Not so easy. That group of prisoners will perish together. Wait, isn't the evil dragon mountain a place for geniuses to train? Those prisoners are the stepping stones for the geniuses. Isn't that so? The scariest thing about the evil dragon mountain is not the prisoners inside, but the people guarding the prisoners. They are all geniuses of our Xieyang race. I really envy the people who can enter the evil dragon mountain. I heard that they can use the prisoners as they wish to spar, and they can even eat the flesh of the prisoners. There is nothing to be envious of. After entering the evil dragon mountain, it is not easy to come out. There are 9 layers inside the evil dragon mountain. After entering, you have to go up layer by layer until you reach the 9th layer. Qin Yun now roughly understood the situation of the evil dragon mountain. There are many crazy Xieyang race people imprisoned inside. Moreover, it is a place for geniuses to train. If an ordinary person was brought in, they would either be killed by the prisoners inside or killed by the geniuses guarding the prisoners. Chapter 1448. 1448 Chapter 1448 Evil Dragon Mountain. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and looked at Xieyang Patriarch fiercely. He said coldly, "You will regret bringing me to the evil Yang world. He also saw that the huge black ball floating in the air is the outer shell of the sun's core. Regret? What do I have to regret? You are already a prisoner, you have no chance to turn things around. After you enter the evil dragon mountain, you will die for sure. Of course, you won't die so quickly, you will die slowly and painfully. Xieyang Patriarch laughed and said. The other Xieyang people also laughed loudly. Not long after, Qin Yun saw the evil dragon mountain. Its entire body is pitch black, like a very thick black pillar, standing upright on the grassland in front of him. The evil dragon mountain is cylindrical and 10,000 meters wide. It is very huge. Looking at it from far away, it is very shocking. The most terrifying thing is the evil and evil aura that is floating out. After approaching, all kinds of miserable screams can be heard coming from inside. The entrance is a spatial entrance, one can only enter and not come out. Evil Dragon Mountain is a cultivation holy land given to us by Xieyang. Those who come out are all incomparably powerful geniuses. I fought my way out from the first floor. Xieyang Patriarch chuckled and said, If you think you have the ability, then fight your way out. An old man said with sneer, How can he do it? He is still a Xian immortal right now, right? If he goes in, it will be good if he can live for 3 days. Qin Yun, don't be afraid. There are 9 floors inside the evil dragon mountain. The strongest in the first floor is only a first-layer earth immortal. Your strength is very good, you can definitely live for a few more days. Xieyang Patriarch laughed and pushed Qin Yun into the black spatial door. After Qin Yun entered, the people outside started cheering. There is a large crystal wall outside, one can see the situation inside. Xieyang race people usually watch the people inside the evil dragon mountain kill each other to pass their time or to learn the ruthlessness of others. After Qin Yun was pushed in, his body is still tied up by many iron chains. Those iron chains pierced through his body and tied him up. If he doesn't break free from those iron chains, he won't be able to move at all. Patriarch, that guy has the sun-suppressing divine arrow, it won't be a problem, right? An old man looked at the large crystal wall and saw Qin Yun lying on the ground and said worriedly, It's fine, the reason why the sun-suppressing divine arrow is so powerful is mainly because of the sun core. The sun core is ours now. Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow has also become scrap metal. Patriarch Xieyang proudly smiled and said, Let's see how this guy gets beaten up. Qin Yun is lying on the ground. He raised his head and saw that this is a very spacious mountain. There was a bright light source in the belly of the mountain, so it wasn't dark or humid at all. Moreover, there were many caves in the surrounding stone walls. Those caves were neatly arranged. They should have been excavated during the construction of the evil dragon mountain. These caves are in Yun. They are all, they an evil dragon. And they. Yun, Qin Yun said. Dragon mountain is. Tian, the dragon mountain is Yang dragon. And the dragon mountain is Yun mountain, dragon mountain is Long, he dragon is, Yang Yun is. Dragon mountain is Yang dragon mountain is Yun. Dragon mountain is. It. And Yun, dragon mountain is Yun is. Dragon mountain is protected by evil sun's power. So long as one can enter first floor and fight their way to 9th floor, they will be like a dragon. Even if they are prisoners, they will be respected. Of course, this is the first time a person from another race has been brought in. Qin Yun used his formidable mental power to control the chains on his body, bit by bit. He also released tree vines to pull the chains out of the bloody holes on his body. Not long after, those bloody chains have been taken away by Qin Yun. People outside the Dragon Mountain are startled seeing this scene. They thought that Qin Yun would be tied up forever. An old man said in low voice, Patriarch, are we not tied up tightly? How did he get rid of it so quickly? Don't worry, this guy won't be able to live for long. Patriarch Xieyang is also in a bad mood because he wants to see Qin Yun beaten up. Qin Yun is sitting on the ground and looking at the quiet battlefield. Although it is very quiet here, a wave of ruthless aura is drifting out from inside the cave. There is no one fighting here, and the geniuses guarding the first floor are also nowhere to be seen. Could it be that there is no one here? Qin Yun tried and found out that he can't fly here. Suddenly, someone came out of a cave. The person who came out is a bald large man, his upper body is bare, there are many red tattoos on his body, he looks very scary. After he saw Qin Yun, he loudly shouted, "Newcomers have come in." Prisoners immediately came out of many caves. Qin Yun can also see that there is not only one person inside these caves, many people are coming out one after another. In the blink of an eye, several hundred people came out of several tens of caves. Qin Yun's body is full of injuries, there are many bloody holes on his body, he looks very weak. However, other people are not approaching because they don't know who this person is. After Patriarch Xieyang saw this, he cursed, "These prisoners, why are they not going to kill Qin Yun?" "Patriarch, you don't know. Those prisoners are from several gangs. They are now united and the geniuses we sent to guard don't dare to suppress them." A middle-aged man walked over and said, "However, Qin Yun is not from our Xieyang race, no one will like him inside." Patriarch Xieyang said somewhat angrily, "Where are the geniuses we sent? Where did they all die? I haven't been paying attention to Evil Dragon Mountain for a while, how did it become like this?" During this period of time, Patriarch Xieyang often went to heart protecting Divine Race's tribe, adding on the fact that he hasn't been paying attention to Evil Dragon Mountain for a long time. He doesn't know what is going on inside. "Patriarch, we have too few geniuses, should we send a few more?" An old man said in low voice, "Of course, once they go in, they will need to clear 9 floors to come out, so, don't send them in for now, once they go in, who knows when they will be able to come out?" Patriarch Xieyang waved his hand and said, "Patriarch, don't worry, the geniuses we sent in all have a lot of good equipment. It will be enough to deal with those prisoners." An old man said and suddenly became worried, "Qin Yun is from a mortal desolate, and he has a saint artifact. I wonder if he has it with him?" "I don't think so, if he had a saint artifact, he would have already taken it out to deal with us," Patriarch Xieyang said, but in his heart, he started to worry. He suddenly felt that he was too reckless, he shouldn't have thrown Qin Yun into Evil Dragon Mountain so carelessly. The old man saw through Patriarch Xieyang's worry and said, "Patriarch, Qin Yun won't be able to come out in a short time, unless he can cultivate to the 9th level of Earth's celestial stage. But that is impossible, even if he comes out, we can wait for him at the top of the mountain." "Alright, let's go take a look at the sun's heart, if Qin Yun has any movement, report to me immediately." Patriarch Xieyang looked at the black ball in the sky. He suddenly became very excited, after being sent here for so many years. They finally got a son's heart. Qin Yun was in the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain. He was sitting on the ground and healing his injuries. He was now surrounded by hundreds of people, because he released a very strong Earth celestial stage aura, so the prisoners here didn't dare to come close. "Bro, why were you sent in here? What did you do?" a young man asked curiously. Qin Yun's entire body was covered in blood, his hair was in a mess. Although he didn't have the aura of the Xieyang race, he didn't hide his aura, so he gave off the aura of an expert. "Killed someone," Qin Yun said. "Who did you kill? Who was actually imprisoned in Evil Dragon Mountain?" the young man continued to ask. "Xieyuan Feng." Qin Yun laughed. "Do you know this guy? This idiot, it's really not easy to not know him, you actually killed him." The young man was very shocked, the others were also discussing in shock. Qin Yun also saw that the aura of the prisoners here was not weak, some of them even had a very frightening evil aura. The people here were only wearing shorts or trousers, their upper bodies were bare, revealing their developed muscles. They didn't have any equipment. From a cave, a tall and sturdy young man suddenly walked out. He was wearing a set of black armor, and beside him were two seductive women. The two women were both wearing thin clothes, and their curvaceous bodies could be vaguely seen through them. When the prisoners here saw the two women, their eyes all stared blankly. Although they had seen them many times, every time they saw them, they would have an impulse. The young man who walked out is wearing armor and holding a black greatsword in his hand. They are all very good equipment. When the others saw this young man come out, they immediately retreated. Obviously, this young man is a genius who came here to gain experience. He is also someone who has seen the prisoners. Did you just come in? Do you know the rules here? The young man walked over and said coldly, "Newcomers who just entered Evil Dragon Mountain must serve me for a year and be my servant. Only then can you live." "And if I don't?" Qin Yun looked at the young man and said coldly, "If you don't, then I'll make you live a life worse than death." The young man laughed sinisterly. "Quickly lick my boots clean." On the young man's boots, there is black blood and some minced meat. He must have just trampled someone to death. "I won't lick," Qin Yun said coldly. "You don't want to be my servant?" The young man's expression sank. He furiously said, "Then you are dead for sure." Qin Yun's body is injured. Although he is an earth immortal, because there are several bloody holes on his body, he gives people a feeling that he is easy to deal with. The young man signaled the two seductive women with his eyes and said, "You two go over and chop off his arms, consider it as a gift for you to eat." Chapter 1449 1449 Chapter 1449 Xie Yaojuan. The prisoners in the Evil Dragon Mountain don't have any equipment. Only the geniuses who came to train and watch over the prisoners have many powerful equipment. In this first floor, they are all first-layer Earth immortals. Even if their strength is outstanding, they are still far from being able to deal with geniuses with equipment. Those two bewitching women have sharp short swords in their hands. They are also first-layer Earth immortals. Everyone thinks that they will definitely succeed and cut off Qin Yun's arm. They are now very excited as they flew over. Their faces are filled with ruthlessness. It can be seen how much they want to eat meat. Qin Yun already knew that the majority of Xie race people are very savage, let alone people in an environment like the Evil Dragon Mountain. Too slow. Qin Yun is very disdainful in his heart and promptly released many thick and hard tree vines. Those black tree vines were released by Qin Yun and very nimbly and quickly tied up the two bewitching women. In just a few blinks of an eye, the two bewitching women were tightly tied up. Their faces are filled with horror. They frantically struggled but were unable to break free. "Master! Quickly save us!" a woman shouted in alarm. Although she has a sharp short sword in her hand and the earth immortal power on her body is also very strong, she is unable to break free from those tree vines. When the armored youth saw how powerful the tree vines are, he realized that Qin Yun has some strength. However, he did not make a move. Instead, he shouted coldly, "Quickly release my two female slaves or I will make you wish you were dead instead of alive. They want to cut off my arm, how can I let them go?" Qin Yun looked at the two tightly tied women on the ground and said with sneer, "Let them go, then obediently let them cut off your arm and lick my shoes clean. I guarantee that in the next year, you will be able to live well in this first floor." The youth is somewhat angry and raised his voice. Qin Yun cannot help but laugh and said mockingly, "You are truly arrogant. I will count to 3. Quickly release them and do as I said just now. This is your last chance." The youth tightly gripped the large sword in his hand. His expression suddenly became somewhat sinister because he felt that his dignity has been provoked. The other prisoners here did not dare to make a sound at this moment. They all retreated to the wall and surrounded it to watch. They all feel that Qin Yun is finished. Everyone knows that in the evil Dragon Mountain, one must never provoke the genius guarding the prisoners. Those geniuses could kill at will, and they had many powerful equipment on them. Furthermore, if they were injured, there would be people who would send in medicinal herbs from the outside. Furthermore, they could often obtain various resources. Geniuses who came here to train, once they passed the 9th level of the evil Dragon Mountain, they would definitely become powerful 9th Heaven-Earth immortals. Even the Patriarch valued these warriors very much. And the geniuses who dare to enter evil Dragon Mountain for this kind of training are all ruthless characters. They are all extremely arrogant. They are all people who kill without batting an eye. 1, 2, 3. After that youth finished shouting, Qin Yun still did not let go of the 2 bewitching women. He wants to see how that youth will deal with him. You are openly challenging me, Xie Yaojun. The young man was furious. He waved the black sword in his hand and swung it at the 2 coquettish women on the ground. 2 terrifying black sword chi flew out and cut those tree vines in half. The 2 coquettish women also screamed miserably because their bodies have been injured by the sword energy and are dripping with blood. You 2 useless slaves, go to hell. Xie Yaojuan's eyes are spewing out evil energy. He took out 2 pearls and threw them out. The 2 pearls landed on the bodies of the 2 coquettish women and then burst into raging flames. In just a blink of an eye, the 2 women were burned to black ashes. These prisoners are not unfamiliar with this kind of thing. They are secretly alarmed in their hearts. Xie Yaojun looked at Qin Yun, who is sitting on the ground, and said with evil smile, "You want me to kill you with my own hands, right? Stop dreaming. You are not worthy of being killed by me. I don't even want to touch you." After he finished speaking, he waved his hand and 10 bare-chested robust men walked over. They are his slaves. Go and capture him. Don't kill him, just torture him. If you don't make him suffer a fate worse than death, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death. After Xie Yaojun finished speaking, someone brought over a large stone chair for him to sit on. At this moment, the Xieyang clansmen outside the evil Dragon Mountain also know that a good show is about to begin and immediately cheered. Qin Yun is injured. He does not want to engage in an intense battle, but right now he is not allowed to rest in peace. Seeing the 10 robust men come over, Qin Yun took out 10 iron chains. They are the 4 that pierced his body before. They are very good tools. Originally, it was in the hands of the Xieyang clan leader and a dozen or so 9th stage Earth Immortals. They thought that after sending Qin Yun to the evil Dragon Mountain, the iron chains would be obtained by the geniuses guarding the prisoners. However, Qin Yun can undo it himself, so it fell into Qin Yun's hands. Qin Yun frowned. The nether moon that has fused with his soul suddenly surged out of very strong mental power. This mental power has been cultivated by the one-thought Imperial Heaven Art. At this moment, he is using this kind of mental power. With a thought, he can control the 10 iron chains to fly out like electric snake. At the end of the iron chains, there are barbed spikes that can easily pierce through the body. Just as the 10 robust men were about to come over, they saw the iron chain in Qin Yun's hand suddenly turn into 10 and fly over like light. This made it impossible for them to defend. The next scene shocked everyone inside and outside the evil Dragon Mountain to the point of being tongue-tied. Those iron chains actually pierced through the heads of the 10 robust men in an instant. Qin Yun grabbed the end of the 10 iron chains and released his earth immortal power. It contains the violent power of the heavenly Tao flame and injected a violent flame. The earth immortal power that carried the flame rushed out through the iron chains and turned the iron chains into fire chains in an instant. Then, it poured into the heads of the 10 robust men. In the blink of an eye, the heads of the 10 robust men are emitting fire. They are like 10 torches standing there, all dead. Qin Yun vigorously pulled back the 10 iron chains. Xie Yaojun, who is sitting on the stone chair, originally planned to enjoy the process of Qin Yun being tortured. He was still very calm, but now he can no longer remain calm. Although Qin Yun seems to be injured, his strength is still very strong. Bang! The 10 blazing robust men suddenly fell down. The people outside the evil dragon mountain saw this scene through the crystal wall. After a moment of silence, they burst into loud shouts. They all hurriedly contacted Patriarch Xieyang. Patriarch Xieyang, who just left not long ago, immediately rushed over. After knowing what happened, he continuously cursed. The expressions of the more than 10 elders who came with Patriarch Xieyang are also unsightly. Because the iron chains they used to bind Qin Yun have actually become a very good weapon for Qin Yun. What exactly is this bastard's cultivation? Patriarch Xieyang cursed in a low voice. That guy Su Tiangao said that his cultivation is definitely not higher than the 5th level of the Xian immortal realm. I don't know, if this guy's cultivation is at the 9th level of the Xian immortal realm, then with his potential, it should not be a problem for him to deal with a 1st level earth immortal. After all, he was chosen by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He should have some ability. An old man is also somewhat anxious. Patriarch Xieyang is now regretting. He should not have let Qin Yun into the evil dragon mountain. One must know that even he, the Patriarch, is unable to enter the 1st level of the evil dragon mountain. This is the evil dragon mountain that Xieyang gave them to train. The restrictions are very strict, mainly to allow people to grow in a closed environment. If they can't break through, they can't leave the mountain. Qin Yun coldly looked at Xie Yaojun, who is sitting on the stone chair. Xie Yaojun slowly stood up, holding the big sword in his hand. He said coldly, "It seems like you have some strength, you are qualified for me to take action." As he spoke, he took out a piece of skin and wiped the big sword in his hand. Looking carefully, that piece of skin is human skin. Patriarch Xieyang, who is looking at the crystal wall outside, asked, "This kid should be Xie Yaojun, right? How strong is he?" Patriarch Xie Yaojun is very strong. He is the strongest 1st level earth immortal of our Xieyang race. He once defeated 10 1st level earth immortal ghost beasts with his bare hands. An old man proudly laughed and said, "This kid is my grandson." Third elder, your grandson is indeed very strong. To be able to defeat 10 1st level earth immortal ghost beasts with his bare hands, very good, very good. Patriarch Xieyang laughed and said, "Now I am relieved, I hope he can torture Qin Yun to death." The third elder chuckled and said, "Yao Jun will not kill Qin Yun in an instant. Instead, he will let him die slowly. The ghost beast that fought against him back then had a lot of resentment before it died. It was also because it was tortured badly by him that it died." At this moment, other people outside the evil dragon mountain are all shouting Xie Yaojun's name. After Xie Yaojun wiped the big black sword in his hand, he suddenly looked at Qin Yun. His eyes burst with cold light filled with killing intent. Everyone inside and outside the evil dragon mountain can feel Xie Yaojun's ruthless killing intent. Especially the prisoners in the 1st level of the evil dragon mountain, they all feel incomparable fear. Xie Yaojun's body suddenly turned into a black shadow and rushed towards Qin Yun like a black light. Qin Yun's eyes slightly widened. He immediately caught sight of Xie Yaojun's fast figure. He also admitted that Xie Yaojun's speed is very fast, but he can still clearly see Xie Yaojun's appearance when he moves. Hua hua hua. The 10 chains he controlled suddenly soared up, and in the blink of an eye, they interweaved into an iron chain net and enveloped Xie Yaojun. Xie Yaojun didn't expect that the 10 chains would suddenly turn into a net. He can only give up attacking Qin Yun and quickly change direction. When Qin Yun saw that Xie Yaojun's attack has been disrupted, his eyes shot out a white light. He used light transformation sacred pupil to turn his body into white light and arrived beside Xie Yaojun. He suddenly pointed with his 2 fingers. The exploding heaven finger power that has been condensed for a long time shot out and rushed towards Xie Yaojun's head. Boom! Chapter 1450. 10 warriors. If not for the armor protecting Xie Yaojuan's body, that attack just now would have been enough to shatter his head. His face was covered in blood, his face was cracked open and bleeding. That kind of burning pain caused his heart to be filled with fear. After he was sent flying, he landed heavily on the ground and then crawled up in panic. He, who was originally filled with cold arrogance and tyranny, is now filled with deep fear. Qin Yun's attack just now was enough to display his formidable power. Although Xie Yaojun is very arrogant, in front of Qin Yun's formidable power, he immediately became much more clear-headed. He knows very well how terrifying Qin Yun's strength is. When Xie Yaojun saw Qin Yun's indifferent eyes, he revealed a terrifying killing intent. He couldn't help but shout, Don't kill me!" The people outside all found it hard to believe when they saw Xie Yaojun being beaten to the point of begging for mercy. Xie Yaojun is the strongest first-stage Earth Immortal in their Xieyang race, and he even has equipment on him. But now, he was defeated in one move. They all felt that this was too bizarre because in their eyes, Qin Yun was not an Earth Immortal at all. Yet, he was able to defeat Xie Yaojun, a first-stage Earth Immortal. One must know that the people of the Xieyang race felt that only a second-stage Earth Immortal could defeat Xie Yaojun. If they wanted to instantly kill Xie Yaojun, they would need a third-stage Earth Immortal to come. Qin Yun did not say anything and raised his hand. Xie Yaojun immediately knelt on the ground, kowtowed and shouted, Don't kill me, just treat me like a dog." This caused everyone to be stunned. Whether it is the group of prisoners or the Xieyang race people outside, they are all stunned. Especially the third elder and the Xieyang clan leader. They wish that they could pinch Xie Yaojun to death. He actually did such a shameful thing. How can this Qin Yun's strength be so terrifying? The third elder said in a deep voice, Could he be an Earth Immortal? This is impossible. 3 months ago, he was only a first-stage Xian Immortal. Furthermore, he and Xiao Yuelan only ate 150 divine fruits each. How much could they grow? The Xieyang clan leader cursed in a low voice. During the assessment, although they were powerful, that was because they had the sun-suppressing divine arrow in their hands. The third elder looked at the gigantic black ball in the sky and said, The sun core has been obtained by us. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hands should have become scrap metal. It's impossible for him to be that powerful. Third elder, your grandson is about to die. Xieyang Patriarch said. That is also your fault. You didn't understand this guy's strength and locked him up in Evil Dragon Mountain. Third elder said with reproachful expression. What does that have to do with me? Back then, you guys easily captured him, and you guys were also in charge of escorting him. I was only in charge of whipping him. Why didn't you find out his true strength back then? Xieyang clan master felt that he was a wise man, and he would never admit that he was wrong. Qin Yun was heavily injured. After all, his body was pierced by the chains and he was beaten by Xieyang Patriarch. If he killed Xie Yaojun now, he would use up the last bit of strength in his body. If the surrounding prisoners besieged him, even if he didn't die, he would be crippled. I won't kill you, but you have to promise absolute loyalty to me. Qin Yun put down his hand and said indifferently. His aura is still not reduced, especially that heavenly Tao's ferocious aura. It makes the prisoners feel like they are suffocating. Master, I am absolutely loyal to you. Although Xie Yaojuan's face is covered in blood, he still respectfully knelt down and bowed down. Xie Yaojun despises other people's lives very much because he feels that he is a strong expert. Now, he knows that in front of a strong expert, his life is very cheap. If he doesn't make his master happy, he will be killed. Xie Yaojun has trained many servants, so he knows very well how to be a servant. Alright, I want to rest. You guard the cave entrance and don't let anyone in. Qin Yun spoke and walked towards Xie Yaojuan's cave. Xie Yaojuan's cave entrance is different from the others. There is a thick black door outside. After Qin Yun entered, he closed the door and took out the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to block the entrance. He can finally feel a lot more at ease now. Xiao Yun, that Xie Yaojun should have only temporarily surrendered to you, Ling Yun'er said. After Qin Yun entered the cave, he saw that it is very luxurious, but he burned it down because he doesn't like the smell. Don't be afraid of him. As long as my injuries recover, even 10 of him will not be my match. Qin Yun sat in the flame, closed his eyes and healed. Ling Yun'er laughed tenderly and said, that Xie patriarch is really stupid. Locking you in the evil dragon mountain is giving you a chance. Qin Yun said with a smile, that's right, as long as I recover from my injuries, I can start using the Sun Core to cultivate. The true Sun Core is inside Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Moreover, absorbing it through the 9 Sun Divine Spirit can be even faster. Xie Patriarch, the third elder and a large group of Xie race elders are all staring angrily at Qin Yun. People like them, who are more than first layer Earth immortal, can't enter the first floor. If they enter the spatial door, they can only go to the top of the mountain. If they want to deal with Qin Yun, they need to send first layer Earth immortals in. Xie Patriarch said, how about this, we each send a descendant in, a total of 10 should be able to take down Qin Yun. This, my family's first layer Earth immortal descendants are not very good, an old man said. We should take our time to think about it. Take our time to think about it? Qin Yun is seriously injured and has consumed a lot of energy. It is the best time to deal with him. The third elder said, didn't you see? Qin Yun didn't kill Yaojun because he wanted to preserve his last bit of power. Xie Patriarch nodded and said, he was captured and injured by us. Moreover, he was whipped by me along the way. His injuries are very serious. To be able to defeat Xie Yaojun, he must have used a secret technique to overdraft his energy. Now is his weakest moment. The third elder said, quickly, everyone send people, equipment, send a first layer Earth immortal in to kill Qin Yun. Many elders are not happy because after sending people in, they need to cultivate to the 9th layer Earth immortal to come out. Moreover, in the higher floors, the stronger the prisoners will be, it will be life-threatening. Forget it, let Qin Yun stay inside. He won't be able to leave Evil Dragon Mountain in the end anyway. Even if he is lucky enough to reach the 9th floor, it won't be too late for us old guys to take action. An elder said, don't waste manpower and resources, leave them to deal with Yang family. Just first layer Earth immortal, what is there to waste? If you don't send people to kill Qin Yun quickly, then when he comes out as a 9th layer Earth immortal, we will all be in trouble. Xie Patriarch groaned. He just wants to kill Qin Yun quickly, otherwise people will laugh at his stupid decision of sending Qin Yun to Evil Dragon Mountain. The third elder also wants to kill Qin Yun. Only this way, Xie Yaojun will not be enslaved by Qin Yun. If word gets out that his grandson is being enslaved, he will be laughed at. The other elders are not willing because they are worried that their descendants will be killed after going in. They have seen Qin Yun's formidable power, moreover, Qin Yun has the iron chain they gave him. If you don't send people, then don't even think about sharing the credit of obtaining the Sun Core. Xie clan master said coldly, you know, it was my decision to work with the Su clan and you all opposed it. An elder said with dissatisfaction. Back then, in order to join hands with Su family, you sacrificed many outstanding warriors to ambush Yang family's warriors. Among them were our family's warriors. You can't deny our sacrifice. The one who sacrificed the most is me. Now that we have finally obtained a Sun Core, I am willing to share the credit with you, but you are not willing to send someone to kill Qin Yun? Xie Patriarch is very angry. Alright, let's send someone. An elder can only nod in agreement. They are truly worried that Xie Yang Patriarch will enjoy the credit alone. The other elders can only agree and go back to arrange for people to come. In just half a day, the elders had each found a very strong first-stage Earth Immortal, and all of them were wearing very strong black armor. In order to completely kill Qin Yun, they all let their warriors bring small ghost beasts. At this moment, many people of the Xie Yang race are surrounding the evil Dragon Mountain's crystal wall. They want to see how those 10 powerful warriors will kill Qin Yun. Although Xie Yaojun is very respectful to Qin Yun on the surface, he hates Qin Yun to death in his heart. He knows that people will be sent in soon. At that time, as long as he captures Qin Yun alive, he will be able to hold his head high. The prisoners on the first floor are also very worried, because they are very afraid that some genius disciples will come in to deal with Qin Yun. Because after those geniuses come in, they can't go out. If there is another genius here, then they won't have a good life and will definitely be used to make fun of. Suddenly, the space fluctuated and someone came in. The person who came in is a middle-aged man wearing black armor, holding a huge black axe in his hand. After the middle-aged man came in, a snake as thick as a water tank slowly swam in. Seeing someone come in, Xie Yaojuan's face is immediately filled with joy and shouted, "Big brother, I am Xie Yaojun. I know you. I also know that you are Qin Yun's slave. Many people saw you kneeling and kowtowing to Qin Yun." The middle-aged man said with sneer. How many people saw it? Xie Yaojun is stunned. He suffered an incomparable blow. Of course he knows that the evil Dragon Mountain is surrounded by crystal walls. He can see the situation inside. Many. That Qin Yun came from the Heart Yang realm. He killed the Patriarch's son, Xie Yuanfeng. After being captured by the Patriarch wanted to make him live a life worse than death. That's why he locked him up. I didn't expect you to be such an idiot. He is very disappointed, the middle-aged man said with a face full of ridicule. Then he brought his huge snake and walked towards the cave with the black door. Xie Yaojun tightly clenched his fists. He feels that he can no longer be a human in the future. He hates Qin Yun to death in his heart. At this time, people came in one after another. They are all wearing battle armor, holding weapons and bringing along ghost beast pets. A total of 10 people came in. Seeing this situation, Xie Yaojun realized that the outside world attaches great importance to this matter. That's why they sent this kind of power to kill Qin Yun. The prisoners on the first floor feel like they are king dogs. They thought that at most 1 or 2 geniuses would come in, but now there are 10 and they even brought along ghost beast pets. Chapter 1451. Sacred Beast Horn Patriarch Xie Yang saw that there are 10 pretty good first-level Earth Immortals, and they even brought along very strong ghost beasts. He felt a lot more at ease and finally revealed a smile on his face. If Qin Yun doesn't die, then his wisdom will be questioned. He absolutely won't allow anyone to question him. The third elder is not happy because the warriors who entered the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain all look down on his grandson. At this moment, the Xie Yang people who are watching the crystal wall are all mocking Xie Yaojun in low voices. Although the third elder is very angry that Xie Yaojun kneeled down and begged for mercy, he can understand his grandson. After all, in order to live, kneeling down and begging for mercy is nothing. He feels that if it was anyone else, they would definitely do the same. Xie Yaojun is very angry to see that he is being looked down upon by the other warriors. Not only does he want to kill Qin Yun, he also wants to kill those who mocked him. He knows that his reputation is finished because many people outside saw him kneeling down and begging for mercy to Qin Yun. And he used to be very arrogant outside and offended many enemies. If he goes out in the future and doesn't have absolute power to intimidate others, he will definitely be laughed at. Thinking about how bleak his future is, the hostility in Xie Yaojuan's heart became even more intense. It's this door, right? Xie Yaojun, hurry up and open the door. A middle-aged man shouted. This used to be your residence. You should open it yourself so that you don't say that we broke it. Ha ha ha, it's better not to let him do it because his master lives inside. A bald youth loudly sneered. Xie Yaojun, why don't you come over and beg your master to come out? Don't laugh at him. Look at him, his face is disfigured and he's injured. Let us do it. The warriors who just came in ridiculed Xie Yaojun one after another. It is clear that they are deliberately making fun of Xie Yaojun. Actually, these warriors who entered the evil dragon mountain also have great resentment in their hearts because they didn't want to come in. After coming in, it means that they will temporarily lose their freedom. If they can't quickly break through, who knows how long they will be trapped in the evil dragon mountain. But there is no other way, they have to go in because of the mission arranged by the higher-up. Therefore, they hate Qin Yun and evil Yaojun very much. They believe that the main culprit is Qin Yun and Xie Yaojun also has a lot of responsibility. If not for Xie Yaojun being too incompetent, they would not have formed a team to deal with Qin Yun. Xie Yaojun clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, wishing he could kill all 10 warriors. The third elder, who was standing outside, snorted unhappily. Young people are like this, it's normal. When we were young, didn't we also tease each other like this? Chief Xieyang laughed. He really didn't think it was a big deal. But Xie Yaojun inside wanted to kill. Boom. A middle-aged man with a large axe in his hand chopped down at the black door. When he attacked, a strong black astral wind exploded out, whistling through the first floor. The door was brittle and had been split open by an axe. 2 burly men walked over and blasted open the broken door. When they wanted to go in, they saw a transparent thing blocking the front. It is the transparent Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Qin Yun released the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to block the entrance. If they want to go in, they must destroy the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Evil Dragon Mountain is very sturdy. The cave here was originally carved out. If they want to dig a new hole, it is impossible, otherwise the prisoners would have already run out. Boom boom boom. 2 burly men walking in front of the passage immediately used their weapons and ferociously smashed it, causing explosive sounds to resound again and again. Only after a while did they stop. We can't open it. What the hell is this thing blocking there? One burly man said with frown. Quickly continue to fight, someone shouted from outside. You guys come and give it a try. The 2 burly men in front left the passage. 2 people went in with very strong weapons in their hands. After pouring in very strong power, they crazily bombarded the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. They also stopped after a while because after a round of bombardment, they roughly realized that it is very difficult to blast open the thing inside. It must be known that Qin Yun's Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet is made from divine iron powder and immortal king beast horn. It is very sturdy, only Saint tools or king-grade immortal tools can destroy it. Soon after, those 10 warriors took turns and unceasingly bombarded the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet, but they cannot even leave a single mark on it. Looking at the crystal wall from outside, Patriarch Xie Yang and others immediately realized that it is a very strong thing. With the equipment those warriors have, they cannot break it. A middle-aged man shouted, Patriarch, we can't break that thing, what should we do? Quickly think of a way. Patriarch Xie Yang immediately took out a piece of paper and wrote a note. Then he sent people to throw it into the spatial door. After that middle-aged man picked up the note, he said with frown, Gather our power? Soon after, those 10 warriors began discussing how to join hands. And the elders outside unceasingly wrote notes to guide them. Less than half an hour later, they know how to join hands, that is to release their strongest earth immortal power, condense it together and attack that hole. But what made them puzzled is that no matter what they do, they can't condense their earth immortal power into a ball, it seems like they can't fuse it. Patriarch Xieyang cursed in low voice. These guys' immortal power is too tyrannical, we can't fuse it. This method won't work. Then what should we do? How can this guy Qin Yun have such a good magic tool? I wonder if it is a saint tool or not. An elder very anxiously said, we must quickly break it. If Qin Yun recovers and uses that powerful magic tool again, our warriors will be in danger. That thing should be a defensive magic tool, we must destroy it, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable. Third elder said. Other elders looked at Patriarch Xieyang one after another. Patriarch Xieyang said with frown, why are you all looking at me? I am also thinking of a way, I still haven't figured it out. Third elder said, Patriarch, don't you have a very strong sacred beast horn? No, that sacred beast horn is very precious. Patriarch Xieyang quickly shook his head. If I throw it in there, I don't know when they will come out and return it to me. Patriarch, the overall situation is more important. Third elder advised. Didn't you want us to send people and equipment to kill Qin Yun? Now we need your sacred beast horn. Other elders nodded. Patriarch Xieyang's attitude is very firm, he said in deep voice. We must not use my sacred beast horn, it is very precious. Then forget it, let's go back and rest. An elder sighed and said, for that Qin Yun, we are really worried sick, let him do whatever he wants. That's right. It was obviously Patriarch's rotten idea to send that guy in, now look at it, third elder's grandson is in danger. Another elder shook his head and smiled. He is also about to leave. Other elders naturally want to kill Qin Yun, otherwise their faces will be tarnished. They have no choice but to ask Patriarch Xieyang to take out the sacred beast horn. All right, I will take out the sacred beast horn. Patriarch Xieyang yelled. He knows that if he doesn't give it, then after returning, these old fellows will definitely say that he was very stupid to send Qin Yun in. Patriarch Xieyang is very concerned about his face, so he can't be laughed at. Finally, he took out the sacred beast horn. It is only as thick as a thigh, half a meter long and completely golden. The horn is very sharp, at the sharpest point there is a special kind of power, it has very strong piercing ability. Patriarch Xieyang painfully threw the sacred beast horn into the spatial gate. Moreover, he also left a note for his grandson to use. Among the 10 warriors, there is also Patriarch Xieyang's grandson. He is a bald youth called Xieyuanlei. After seeing the note, he became very excited. Great, this is Grandpa's sacred beast horn. Although it is not a weapon, it is our Xieyang race's most powerful thing. After receiving the sacred beast horn, Xieyuanlei said with smile, Grandpa, let me use it alone. He held the end of the sacred beast horn with both hands and excitedly walked towards the cave. Although Qin Yun is quietly healing inside, he is always paying attention to the situation outside. After hearing Xieyuanlei say something about the sacred beast horn, he is somewhat worried that the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet will be destroyed. He promptly stored the goblet, then took out the floating cloud pagoda and placed it in the passage. The passage is square-shaped. Qin Yun controlled the floating cloud pagoda to slowly grow bigger. Although it can't become the biggest, it is enough to block the passage. The floating cloud pagoda needs to become the biggest so that Qin Yun can hide inside. But now the floating cloud pagoda can't even open the door of the first floor. If he leaves the cave, he can release the floating cloud pagoda in the first floor of the evil dragon mountain. He didn't take out the floating cloud pagoda before because he was worried that the evil dragon mountain is strange and will absorb the power inside the floating cloud pagoda. Evil dragon mountain was bestowed by Xieyang, so Qin Yun is very vigilant. Now he has no other choice but to take out the floating cloud pagoda, otherwise the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet will be destroyed. Why did that guy change his thing? Forget it, my grandfather's sacred beast horn is so powerful, it can definitely pierce through. Xieyuanlei excitedly rushed over, then held the half-meter-long sacred beast horn and stabbed it. Boom! After the sharp end of the sacred beast horn was injected with a very strong earth immortal power, it stabbed the surface of the floating cloud pagoda, which is full of holes, and made a loud explosion. The floating cloud pagoda is not damaged at all, and the sharp end of the sacred beast horn is also not damaged. Seeing this scene, people inside and outside the evil dragon mountain are all shocked. That is a very strong sacred beast horn, but it can't pierce through the thing Qin Yun released. Xieyang Patriarch cursed in low voice. That Qin Yun guy has a very powerful broken stone building in his hand. Even those trash messengers in the Sun Heart could not break through it. Could it be that the thing blocking the passage is that broken stone building? An old man said. Chapter 1452. Powerful suppression. Seeing Patriarch Xieyang so angry, the other elders are secretly happy in their hearts. Because in the past, Patriarch Xieyang often used that sacred beast horn to show off. Furthermore, the sacred beast horn is also a very powerful weapon of Patriarch Xieyang. Now, Patriarch Xieyang can't use the sacred beast horn for the time being. This means that his strength has weakened a lot and he can't suppress them like before. Grandfather, what do we do now? Xie Yuanlei shouted from inside. Soon after, he used the sacred beast horn to hit the stone wall of the floating cloud pagoda a few times. He could only hit with rumbling sounds, it was completely useless. After thinking about it, Patriarch Xieyang and the other elders decided to use a scheme. The main thing is to use hard and soft tactics to trick Qin Yun to come out and kill him. Of course, they all know that Qin Yun is very cunning and not easy to trick, so they let the 10 warriors think of a good way. Xie Yuanlei is holding the sacred beast horn. He is the strongest among them, so he has the final say. Although the others are somewhat unconvinced by Xie Yuanlei, they can only obediently listen to his command. Xie Yaojun, go and trick Qin Yun out. You are his slave, you can definitely gain his trust. Xie Yuanlei said, you go and tell him that we want to talk to him. We can give him some benefits. Xie Yaojun cursed in his heart, but on the surface, he is somewhat humble and said, it is useless for me to go over. He definitely knows what you did outside. Actually, Xie Yaojun is very happy to see the 10 warriors suffer defeat. They also know that Qin Yun is not easy to deal with. Xie Yaojun has an even more evil thought in his heart. He hopes that these 10 warriors will be beaten by Qin Yun until they kneel down and beg for mercy. Only like this, he, Xie Yaojun, will not be laughed at. Xie Yuanlei is somewhat angry. I told you to go over, so you go. You lowly thing, why don't you listen to me? That's right. Xie Yaojun, quickly scram over and call your master out. Others also fanned the flames and mocked. Xie Yaojun, you must know who the boss of the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain is. It is no longer you, Xie Yaojun, it is Big Brother Xie Yuanlei. A middle-aged man said sternly, you Xie Yaojun, you are just a cowardly dog who kneels down and begs for mercy. Xie Yaojun angrily shouted, don't go too far. Xie Yuanlei laughed out loud. Who do you think you are? You are Qin Yun's dog. You kneeled down and recognized him as your master. Suddenly, a middle-aged man picked up Xie Yaojun and walked towards the cave entrance. Xie Yuanlei tightly hugged the sacred beast horn and shouted, Qin Yun, the puppy you just took is in our hands. If you don't come out, we will kill your dog slave. Qin Yun has been recuperating inside for more than half a day. With the recovery speed of his immortal devil sacred body, his injuries have more or less recovered. It was just that the earthly immortal energy in his body was slightly insufficient, but he felt that it was enough to deal with the 10 soldiers outside. That guy's holy beast horn looks pretty good. From what they said, it seems to be the treasure of Patriarch Xieyang. Ling Yun laughed. Xiao Yun, that holy beast horn is yours. Qin Yun smiled and said, I will go out and take a look. Just as he was about to go out, he heard screams and the sound of punches and kicks. Xie Yaojun screamed miserably from being beaten up. After the third elder saw this, he said angrily, "Look at what their descendants are doing, how can they beat Yaojun?" Patriarch Xie Yang said calmly, "The overall situation is the most important. Besides, if it wasn't for your grandson being so incompetent, would we have ended up like this? Patriarch, you are the one who threw Qin Yun in, you are the main culprit. The third elder is very angry. What does it have to do with me? It's all because you didn't figure out Qin Yun's cultivation." Patriarch Xie Yang is also somewhat angry. "Stop arguing." Suddenly, an old man shouted, "Qin Yun seems to be coming out, the thing blocking the passage is moving." The people outside can all see the situation of the cave through the crystal wall. As expected, Qin Yun put away the floating cloud pagoda and appeared in front of everyone. He is currently wearing a set of clean blue clothes. Moreover, he cleaned the bloodstains on his face and combed his hair neatly. He looks handsome and extraordinary, exuding a divine and mighty aura. Seeing Qin Yun's attitude, the Xieyang warriors outside the cave are all shocked. Especially Xie Yaojun, the Qin Yun he saw before was not like this. At this moment, Qin Yun is incomparably spirited. His entire body is emitting a fierce and powerful aura. "Xie Yaojun, who beat you up?" Qin Yun walked out of the cave and looked at the 10 warriors outside and asked indifferently. It's this guy." Xie Yaojun pointed at a middle-aged man. "Is it him?" Qin Yun also pointed at the middle-aged man and asked. It's him. Master, quickly help me take revenge." Xie Yaojun is now covered in wounds and shouted, "And they all humiliated me and even humiliated you, master." Xie Yuanlei angrily rebuked, "Xie Yaojun, are you really addicted to being a dog?" Qin Yun pointed at the middle-aged man and said coldly, "Were you the one who beat up my servant just now? So what if it was me?" When the middle-aged man saw that Qin Yun is very spirited, he was indeed shocked. However, he felt that they have 10 people on their side and Xie Yuanlei has the sacred beast horn in his hands, so he is not afraid at all. Xie Yuanlei sneered, "Liang, go and get rid of this guy. Let him see the power of the Xieyang race warriors. Otherwise, he will think that our Xieyang race warriors are all dogs like Xie Yaojun." "Good." Liang clenched the broadsword in his hand. Qin Yun pointed at Liang and gathered the power of the piercing mountain and splitting earth finger. Crack! A crisp sound rang out. That powerful finger force carried a ferocious momentum as it pierced through Liang's head. Ah! At the same time, Qin Yun somehow arrived in front of Xie Yuanlei in a flash and grabbed the sacred beast horn with one hand. Boom! A vast shockwave surged out from Qin Yun's arm and roared. Qin Yun tightly held the tip of the sacred beast horn and transmitted the vibration power. Although Xie Yuanlei's hands were tightly gripping onto the Saint Beast horn, his hands were in pain from the violent vibrations, and he had no choice but to let go of the Saint Beast horn. All of this happened too quickly, causing everyone to be tongue-tied and unable to cry out in alarm. Especially Patriarch Xie Yang, who was outside. His arm trembled as he pointed at Qin Yun on the crystal wall. He was so angry that he stamped his feet. His sacred beast horn was actually snatched away by Qin Yun just like that. This group of idiots. Xie Yuanlei, this idiot, when Qin Yun came out, why didn't he directly rush over and take the initiative? Patriarch Xie Yang was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. As for that Liang's grandfather, he was also an elder. Liang was instantly killed, causing the elder to curse in anger. When Qin Yun obtained the sacred beast horn, he knew that it was a very good thing. He was extremely happy and stored the sacred beast horn inside the 9-sun divine spirit. Then, he turned the floating cloud pagoda into a floating cloud rod and held it in his hand. When Xie Yaojun saw that Liang's head had exploded, he was extremely happy. And at this moment, a snake suddenly rushed over like lightning. Qin Yun immediately waved the floating cloud pagoda in his hand and struck the snake's head. Furthermore, he poured overwhelming righteous power into it. Boom! When the rod landed on the snake's head, a burst of white flame burst out. The sinister snake's head immediately split open and sprayed out a large amount of white flame. Qin Yun hastily summoned the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet and expanded it to cover the 5 warriors and several meter-long ghost beasts. In this way he can reduce a lot of pressure. Now, he only needs to face 4 warriors. To him, it is a piece of cake. This first layer is very high, it is more than 100 meters tall. When the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet transformed into a barrier, it can cover a large area. The warriors and ghost beasts trapped by the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet are all crazily attacking inside, wanting to come out, and the warriors outside are scared out of their wits. One after another, they let those small ghost beasts pounce over. However, those ghost beasts are very weak in front of the overwhelming righteous power and floating cloud rod. Boom, boom, boom. Qin Yun held the floating cloud rod and smashed it at the ghost beasts that were pouncing on him. With a single strike, a ghost beast would explode and its fragments would splatter everywhere. The prisoners at the side of the wall are trembling in fear. They are worried that Qin Yun will eat people, and when the time comes, he will eat them. There are a lot of ghost beast fragments on the ground. To those prisoners they are like delicious food. However, they don't even dare to think about it. They are afraid that they will be killed by Qin Yun. What made the prisoners feel relieved is that those ghost beasts are dead for sure. This means that they will not become food for the ghost beast. The seniors who are watching the battle from the outside now know what Qin Yun's cultivation is. They all dare to conclude that Qin Yun is a first-layer Earth immortal. And the younger generation of the evil Yang race, who are watching the battle from the outside, all know how terrifying the person chosen by the sun-suppressing divine arrow is. Qin Yun entered with heavy injuries. Not only did he defeat Xie Yaojun, he is also able to deal with 10 powerful first-layer Earth immortal warriors with ease. There are 4 warriors who are not covered by the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. When they saw the group of ghost beasts being destroyed by Qin Yun's rod, they roughly know Qin Yun's strength. Let's go! A middle-aged man shouted, waving the huge axe in his hand and rushing over. The other 3 warriors also shouted and rushed over. And from the ground, many tree vines suddenly appeared and tied them up. Qin Yun suddenly flashed over, the floating cloud rod in his hand fiercely smashed down, bringing with it a ferocious might. Rumble! That seemingly broken stone rod seems to have the power to split a mountain. It ruthlessly landed on the body of an armored evil Yang race warrior, causing that warrior's body to explode. The most terrifying thing is that those battle armors were also smashed into pieces. Along with the exploding body parts, they flew everywhere. Finally, another warrior was killed. His death is much more miserable than Liang's. Master! Master! Don't kill me! A warrior suddenly shouted. He wanted to kneel, but because his body is tied up by the tree vines, he can't kneel. One servant is enough, you guys are superfluous. Qin Yun spoke and smashed down with his rod. Boom! 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 With 3 consecutive strikes, 3 evil Yang race warriors tied up by the tree vines exploded in an instant. Chapter 1453. Evil Dragon's second-floor patriarch Xie Yang and the elders looked at each other in dismay. All of them are extremely shocked. Now they know that not only did they underestimate Qin Yun's strength, they also underestimated Qin Yun's equipment. Inside the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet, there are 5 people and some ghost beasts. They are all extremely terrified. Qin Yun just killed those armored warriors in a few moves. Dealing with them is as easy as flipping his palm. Moreover, they are now like turtles in a jar. On the ground, there are many weapons scattered. These weapons are very weak in Qin Yun's eyes. He doesn't even care about them. Xie Yaojun, I will leave those few people inside to you. Qin Yun said. This is not good. Xie Yaojun is somewhat scared. Although he wants to kill those few warriors, he knows that many people are watching outside. If he really kills them, Patriarch Xie Yang and those elders will not let him off. What is not good about it? Those fellows came here to kill me. You didn't block them, that means you didn't protect your master. Qin Yun finished speaking and controlled the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to release many flame and lightning to attack those warriors inside. Patriarch Xie Yang saw that Qin Yun wants Xie Yaojun to kill those warriors. He fiercely looked at Third Elder and said in low voice, Look at your grandson, he is now truly a good dog. Other elders are angrily looking at Third Elder. Humph, isn't it your descendants who are in the wrong first? They deserve to treat me like that. If they had discussed with Yaojun nicely, they wouldn't have ended up like this. Third Elder is also filled with anger. Other Xie Yang race people saw that Qin Yun's strength is so dreadful and became very worried. Someone said, Qin Yun is so strong, if he becomes 9th Earth Immortal and leaves Evil Dragon Mountain, won't we be finished? A middle-aged man said, I wonder if Patriarch can deal with Qin Yun or not. Patriarch's strongest sacred beast horn has fallen into Qin Yun's hands. That rod in Qin Yun's hand is very dreadful, it seems to be a very strong weapon. Patriarch is really something. How could he throw this guy into Evil Dragon Mountain? He should have just killed him. Hearing the discussions of many people, Xie Yang's tribe leader was furious. What made him even more furious was that Xie Yaojun was holding a large sword in Evil Dragon Mountain. Xie Yaojun clenched the big sword in his hand, ready to start a massacre. Xie Yaojun, you dog, are you really going to kill us? Xie Yuanlei shouted. At this time, he was trapped inside the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Just a moment ago, he was hit by the flaming lightning and screaming. The one who screamed the most was him. Xie Yaojun was still a little hesitant at first, but after hearing Xie Yuanlei's voice and the curses of the other warriors, he immediately made up his mind to kill. All of you must die. You are not even fit to be dogs. Xie Yaojun furiously said. Qin Yun also took back the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Xie Yuanlei and the rest were already injured, and their bodies were tied up by the tree vines. The furious Xie Yaojun roared as he charged over and killed the Xie Yang race warriors. At the same time, Patriarch Xie Yang and other elders outside crazily attacked the crystal wall and destroyed it, not letting people see the situation inside. Everyone knows that this is the wrong decision of Patriarch Xie Yang and those elders, which caused this kind of situation. Heart Yang realm is now at its weakest. We must work together and attack the Heart Yang realm. Xie Yang race leader yelled. Everyone go back and rest, we will set off tomorrow. At this time, they can only transfer the conflict to the Heart Yang realm and start a war. They can let their clansmen fight and kill each other and forget about the Evil Dragon Mountain. Everyone else hastily went back to prepare. Although they are very dissatisfied with today's matter, thinking about attacking the Heart Yang realm, they are secretly excited. Patriarch, are we just going to let Qin Yun go like this? Let him do whatever he wants in the Evil Dragon Mountain? An elder said. These elders know that they cannot continue arguing. After all, the matter has already happened and everyone has their own responsibility. Of course I can't let Qin Yun go. I will ask the higher-ups to support us. If we get the sun's heart, we will have enough confidence to ask the higher-ups for better equipment. Patriarch Xie Yang said, Let's go, we will first attack the Heart Yang realm and boost the clan's morale. In the first floor of the Evil Dragon Mountain, those ghost beasts and soldiers were all killed by Xie Yaojun. Now, Xie Yaojun is very respectful towards Qin Yun. Because of Qin Yun's help, he was able to kill these 10 powerful soldiers who humiliated him. Qin Yun returned to the cave dwelling and released the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to block the passage. He must seize the time to cultivate and quickly break through his cultivation and return to the Heart Yang realm. If I break through to the second level of Earth Immortal, will I be directly sucked into the second level? Qin Yun has been thinking about this question. If that is the case, he will have to put away the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet in advance, otherwise, this very good magic tool will be left behind. Ling Yuner said with smile. Xiao Yun, the real sun's heart is in your hands, you will definitely be able to break through to the 9th level of Earth Immortal very quickly, then you will be able to leave. I am now in the evil Yang realm. If I become a 9th level Earth Immortal, with my strength, I should be able to turn the evil Yang realm upside down. Qin Yun thought about how he was whipped so many times by the patriarch of the evil Yang clan and felt very angry in his heart. Those idiots of the evil Yang clan brought me here, I will make them regret it. He sat on a cushion and closed his eyes. Through the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, he absorbed the energy of the sun's heart stored inside. The special energy of the sun's heart entered his body through his arm and caused his arm to swell up. This kind of cultivation method should be the fastest. Qin Yun is secretly happy. What made him feel inconceivable is that when the nether sun absorbed the energy of the sun's heart, its surface became covered with faint golden light. The nether sun seems to like this kind of energy very much. In the past, when the nether sun absorbed other kinds of energy, there was no such change. Yuner, what's going on with the nether sun? Qin Yun asked. The nether sun likes the sun's heart very much and wants to devour the entire sun's heart. Ling Yuner laughed twice. Xiao Yun, don't worry, the nether sun has a sense of propriety, he will absolutely not act recklessly. Qin Yun is suddenly somewhat worried about the sun's heart. Fortunately, he can store it in the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, otherwise it might really be devoured by the nether sun. After the energy released by the sun's heart was refined by the nether sun, it became even stronger. Qin Yun could clearly feel that his Earth Immortal strength was rising rapidly. It seems like this method of absorbing the energy of the sun's heart can be even faster. Qin Yun said with smile. I might be even faster than Yuelon. After cultivating for a few days, Qin Yun suddenly stopped and hastily stored the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet because he feels that he is about to break through very soon. In just a few days, he will break through to the second level of the Earth Immortal realm. Qin Yun can already feel how powerful the sun's heart is. The sun's heart wants to quickly cultivate powerful warriors, so that the warriors can use the sun-suppressing divine arrow to eradicate potential threats. Therefore, the sun's heart is currently using a lot of energy. Xie Yaojun, who is outside, saw Qin Yun store the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet and promptly asked, Master, have you not recovered from your injuries? I recovered a long time ago. I am currently cultivating and preparing to break through to the second level of the Earth Immortal realm. Qin Yun said. What? So fast? Xie Yaojun is very shocked. You stay outside and watch. Don't let anyone disturb me. Qin Yun finished speaking and then returned to the depths of the cave. These past few days, Xie Yaojun has been very nervous. On one hand, he is afraid that Qin Yun will kill him, and on the other hand, he is worried that more warriors will come in. What he doesn't know is that the crystal wall outside has been destroyed and the people outside don't know what will happen inside. Patriarch Xie Yang and the others all believe that Qin Yun will need at least several decades or even hundreds of years to reach the 9th level of the Earth Immortal realm. Or he might not even be able to break through to the 9th level of the Earth Immortal realm. Because during cultivation, he needs a lot of resources, such as divine fruits and so on, to quickly break through. Qin Yun doesn't need divine fruits at all because he has the help of the sun's heart. 2 days later, a very strong spatial fluctuation suddenly appeared in the first level of the Evil Dragon Mountain. The hundreds of prisoners here all ran out to watch. Qin Yun thought that he would be directly sucked into the second level. He did not expect that after breaking through, a whirlpool would appear in the middle of the first level. That whirlpool is the spatial passage to the second level. Master, you really broke through? Xie Yaojun found it hard to believe. The other prisoners are also extremely shocked. Qin Yun just came in not long ago, yet he went to the second level so quickly. Yes, Qin Yun said indifferently. As soon as he arrived at the center, he was sucked into the whirlpool by a power. In the second level, all the prisoners are second-level Earth immortals. The second level is the same as the first level. There is a very spacious battlefield in the middle. There are many holes in the surrounding stone walls. It is the place where the prisoners live and rest. After Qin Yun came up, he saw two people fighting with all their might on the battlefield. They are both prisoners fighting. Someone came in, he doesn't have any equipment on him, could he be a prisoner? Sensing the spatial fluctuation, the prisoners in the second level all looked towards the wall. That is the place where Qin Yun came out. Qin Yun is wearing blue clothes. Although his body is tall and sturdy, compared to those giant-like prisoners, he seems relatively small. All the prisoners here can see that Qin Yun is not a member of their Xieyang race. A newcomer is here? He doesn't look like a member of the Xieyang race. Could it be that he was captured from the Heart Yang realm? A tall and sturdy youth wearing fiery red armor walked over with a long saber in his hand and said with sneer, "Rookie from the Heart Yang realm, why were you captured? Have you ever killed anyone?" This youth is the genius of the second level. I have killed some people from your Xieyang race. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud rod and said calmly. Oh? Which ones? The youth teased. His face is full of disbelief. Xie Tailing, Xie Yuanfeng. I only remember the names of these two guys. Qin Yun tightly held the floating cloud rod and said. After the youth heard this, he laughed out loud. The more than 200 prisoners here also roared with laughter. Chapter 1454. Battle at Su Yang. Qin Yun did not expect that the people here would know about the matter of the first floor. He thought that the other party would have some misgivings about him, but now it seems that the Evil Dragon Mountain's information is very blocked. Shameless, boastful fellow, from today onwards you are a prisoner of our second floor. You have to be our sparring partner every day. If you don't do well, you will become everyone's food. The young man laughed sinisterly. When the prisoners here look at Qin Yun, it is as if they are looking at delicious food. The prisoners imprisoned in the Evil Dragon Mountain are originally Xieyang race people. Normally, their prestige in the Xieyang race has spread far and wide. Now that they are imprisoned in the Evil Dragon Mountain, if they do not have enough power to intimidate them, they will only be bullied and humiliated by them. The genius in charge of the prisoners in the second floor seems to have a good relationship with the prisoners, and the Xie Yaojun in the first floor is so intimidated that the prisoners don't dare to make a sound. Sparring partner? What do you want to train? Qin Yun asked. Of course it's to fight, the young man said. I don't have time to waste with you guys. I want to quickly break through and leave the Evil Dragon Mountain. Qin Yun said. Take advantage of the fact that you haven't clashed with me yet. You better not continue to provoke me. I don't want to waste my energy on you. After he finished speaking, he walked towards an empty wall. When the prisoners heard what he said, they all thought it was very funny. Among them, there were two burly and majestic prisoners who walked over to block him. You are the most arrogant guy I have ever seen. Everyone who comes here must be well behaved. Especially in front of me, you must lower your head and bend your waist. The young man tightly gripped the large saber in his hand, walked towards Qin Yun and shouted angrily, You from the Heart Yang realm, did you hear what I said? Qin Yun tightly gripped the floating cloud rod, turned around and smashed it towards the young man. The prisoners here are immediately stunned. They did not expect that this prisoner from the Heart-Yang realm would be so reckless. The young man promptly brandished his saber to block the rod. Boom! Qin Yun's floating cloud rod landed on the large saber and exploded into a burst of sparks, causing the saber to scatter into many pieces. The most terrifying thing was that the fragments that flew out struck the prisoners' bodies, causing them to cry out in pain. Everyone is dumbfounded. Especially that young man. The powerful long saber in his hand was actually smashed into many pieces by the rod. The youth also knew that Qin Yun is very strong, but when he saw his saber destroyed, he was unable to restrain his anger. He roared, "Kill him!" There were more than 200 prisoners here. All of them were second-layer Earth immortals. Moreover, they were all very ferocious. At this moment, all of them were flying over. After the young man roared, he quickly retreated. He is not stupid. He knows that Qin Yun is very strong, and also has a very powerful rod. This also shocked him. He didn't know why such a person would suddenly come in. Logically speaking, it was impossible for a prisoner to have a weapon. Qin Yun quickly took out the 10 chains. Seeing those chains, the prisoners were all shocked. This was because the Xie race's elders often used chain weapons, and they were very familiar with them. Under the control of Qin Yun's mental power, the 10 black chains suddenly flew out like 10 swift and violent black snakes, stabbing in all directions. As for Qin Yun, he used the passing shadow extinction breath steps and disappeared from the second level. The heads of the chains that flew out are very sharp. They can easily pierce through the body. The 10 chains suddenly attacked, and in a blink of an eye, they pierced into the bodies of 10 prisoners and continued to pierce. In just a few blinks of an eye, each chain pierced through the bodies of 10 people, stringing them together. This scene caused the prisoners here to be very frightened, because they realized that the person who suddenly came to the second level is very powerful and also has equipment. The remaining 100 prisoners fled in all directions in fright and entered those cave dwellings. Who exactly are you? That youth is also scared to the point that his face turned pale. You are about to die. What's the point of knowing who I am? Qin Yun's cold voice suddenly came, then he appeared behind that youth. Boom! Qin Yun's rod smashed down and landed on that youth's body. The Heavenly Tao's ferocious aura rushed out, accompanied by a Heavenly Lion's angry roar. That armored youth didn't even have the chance to make a sound. He was directly torn into pieces by the ferocious Earth immortal power and scattered on the battlefield. When the 100 prisoners who were chained together saw that powerful genius die, they immediately screamed miserably. All these years, they have been enslaved by that youth and they know how terrifying that youth is. But now, he was killed by Qin Yun with a single strike. Is that the so-called genius of the Xie race? Qin Yun's floating cloud rod can condense energy, and when it is shot out, it will explode with even more terrifying power. Furthermore, the overwhelming righteous power he poured in is also what the Xie race fears the most. Big Great Uncle, don't kill us! A prisoner shouted. You prisoners are imprisoned here. Once you have the chance to leave, you will definitely be a disaster. Qin Yun's voice is ice-cold as he took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flickered with a fiery red aura. The aura it released caused the prisoner's legs to go soft. In my hand is the sun-suppressing divine arrow, the divine tool that protects the sun's heart. Qin Yun said coldly. And you are the villains who want to steal the sun's heart. As he spoke, he released the sun-suppressing divine arrow and used his mental power to control it. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew back and forth, piercing into the prisoners' bodies and exploding with strong flames, destroying their evil bodies. Soon after, the sun-suppressing divine arrow entered one cave after another and pierced back and forth inside. Qin Yun took out a very large pearl. It is used to collect souls. He wants to collect these souls and use them for death sacrifice. These 200 or so second-stage Earth immortals of the Xie race are a very strong force. If they are used for death sacrifice, they can condense a very strong sacrificial power. These Xie race people can't even withstand a single blow from the sun's heart and the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun raised his hand and the sun-suppressing divine arrow flew back into his hand. Just now, he did not take the initiative to control the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and the sun-suppressing divine arrow automatically killed all the Xie race people. Ling Yun'er said with smile, Xiao Yun, the prisoners in the evil dragon mountain should be very good sacrificial offerings. If you can reach the 9th floor, the harvest will definitely be great. And I can't take the star god's things for free. She needs power now, I have to help her. Qin Yun laughed, then found a place to sit down and began cultivating. The prisoners and the so-called genius of the 2nd floor have all been killed, so Qin Yun is the only one here. In the Heart Yang realm, Yang Tianhen and Xiao Xianqin have been extremely anxious these past few days, because they found out that Qin Yun was captured by the Xie patriarch. This was also deliberately leaked to them by the Su family. Su family bastards, as long as Yuelon and the others who possess the sun-suppressing divine arrow come out, the Su family will be annihilated. Yang Tianhen said angrily. These bastards, at this critical moment, they actually sold out the sun's heart. Yang Wuxin sighed. We also didn't expect that the Su family bastards would go so far. They have always been like this. Back then, they were the ones who betrayed us. Otherwise we would have already exterminated those Xie realm bastards. Yang Tianhen is very angry. And at this moment, a series of explosions suddenly came from outside. Yang Kuei ran over and shouted, Patriarch, it's not good, the Xie race is attacking. They are attacking our barrier. After Yang Tianhen heard this, he immediately took out a long sword and said angrily, These bastards came at the right time, I'll go and kill them right now. Xiao Xianqin said coldly, I want to capture their patriarch and have them hand over Xiao Yun. The Xie race is attacking, the Su family will definitely support them. Yang Wuxin said, How about this, we go and pressure the Su family now. Su Tiangao is the patriarch, this bastard might have already started moving. Yang Tianhen shouted, Let's hurry up and go take a look at the gate. Not long after, the Yang family's group arrived at the tribe's gate. After arriving, they saw the Su family's people here. And outside the barrier, there are many powerful ghost beasts constantly attacking the barrier. Su Tiangao, didn't you make peace with the Xie race? You should be on friendly terms right now, why did they suddenly attack? Yang Tianhen sneered, his face filled with killing intent. This is just the movement of the ghost beasts. The ghost beasts are not under their control. Su Tiangao laughed. Patriarch Yang, don't worry. Our barrier will definitely be able to block those ghost beasts. One of the sun's heart has been taken away, why aren't you worried at all? Yang Kuei said coldly. Anxious? Why should we be anxious? The people inside the sun's heart are not from our Su family, and the sun-suppressing arrow will not be obtained by our heart protector divine race. We have worked so hard to protect this place for so many years, what benefits has the sun's heart given us? Su Tiangao sneered. Since there isn't, then why should we be anxious? Bastard! Yang Tianhen roared angrily and slashed with his sword. Su Tiangao immediately took out a shield to block and said with a smile, Yang Tianhen, do you really want to start a war with our Su family? Are you not going to wait for the 3 warriors from the sun's heart to come out? Yang Tianhen also felt that he was too impulsive. He quickly calmed down and said coldly, Your Su family will definitely be punished. Su Tiangao laughed loudly. Punishment? If there was really a punishment, we would have been finished long ago. Seeing that Su Tiangao did not hide anything, Yang Tianhen became even more furious. Yang Tianhen, you don't dare to start a war with us, right? But we dare to start a war with you, ha ha ha. Su Tiangao laughed wildly. At this time, the Su family's warriors flew out from all directions and surrounded Yang Tianhen and the others. Yang Tianhen and the others never expected that Su Tiangao would really dare to do this. Patriarch, the barrier has been opened. Yang Kuei shouted angrily. The powerful ghost beasts outside suddenly rushed in. Kill! Yang Tianhen shouted sternly. Chapter 1455. The two realms are connected. Yang Tianhen wanted nothing more than to rush over and kill Su Tiangao, but Su Tiangao was hiding with the horde of ghost beasts. After the horde of ghost beasts rushed in, the people of the Su family hid very quickly. Some rode on the ghost beasts, while others followed the horde of ghost beasts into the Yang family. Su Tiangao, get the hell out here! Yang Tianhen shouted angrily as he crazily killed the ghost beasts. The people of the Yang family were all bloodshot. As they killed, they rushed towards the Yang family's territory. They wanted to go in and protect those weak children. At this time, all the warriors of the Yang family had entered a state of battle. A large group of ghost beasts rushed into the Yang family's territory. That fierce, baleful aura enveloped the entire tribe. Xiao Xianqin held her holy saber and locked onto Su Tiangao. She rushed over and shouted coldly, Su Tiangao, I must catch you! Damned woman! Su Tiangao cursed as he was chased by Xiao Xianqin. After Xiao Xianqin chased for a short while, she suddenly felt a strong evil qi appear. She suddenly looked behind her and saw a man covered in black scales holding a strangely shaped broadsword, fiercely slashing towards her. Scram! Xiao Xianqin turned her hand and slashed at the strange man covered in scales. At this time, the aura of the Xieyang clan leader suddenly appeared and shouted, Su Tiangao, what the hell are you hiding for? Hurry up and kill your way to the Yang family. Su Tiangao had already run far away. When he saw the people covered in black scales, he was extremely shocked and said, When did your Xieyang race have such a terrifying thing? Those are evil dragon warriors. They grew up drinking evil dragon blood. They are very strong and have cultivated the evil dragon body. The dragon scales on their bodies can block saint artifacts. The Xieyang clan leader said, I just begged for them. They were sent by the higher-ups to support us and let us destroy the Yang family in one go. Xiao Xianqin had already clashed intensely with the evil dragon warriors. The two Earth Immortals' power surged and destroyed all the surrounding buildings in an instant. Su Tiangao did not go over. Instead, he shouted, Let your ghost beasts go and consume the Yang family's people first. We'll wait here for the opportunity to attack. Su Tiangao was not stupid. When he saw how terrifying the evil Yang warriors were, he was extremely worried and secretly regretted dealing with the Yang family in advance. Before this, the evil Yang race had been saying that they wanted to work together with Su Tiangao to destroy the Yang family. Su Tiangao, on the other hand, was worried that after destroying the Yang family, no other faction would be able to keep the Xieyang race in check, so he did not make a move against the Yang family. Now, Su Tiangao was very worried that after the Yang family was destroyed, the Su family would also be destroyed by the Xieyang race. The Yang family was swarmed by a large group of ghost beasts, and the Xieyang race warriors also crazily killed their way in. However, at this moment, the three suns in the sky suddenly shot down a golden light, covering all the buildings of the Yang family. In an instant, all sorts of ghostly beasts cried out in pain. The Xieyang race warriors also began to howl in pain. The Xieyang race chief and Su Tiangao immediately looked over. They saw that the ghost beasts and Xieyang race warriors that were hit by the golden light were all emitting black smoke. Their flesh seemed to be corroding, rotting away with the black smoke. It was extremely terrifying. Not long after, the weaker ghost beasts turned into a pool of black rotten meat. When Yang Tianhen saw that the heart of the sun was finally exerting its power, he felt much more at ease. Retreat! The Xie tribe's chief suddenly shouted. At this moment, the light from the sun's heart covered the entire tribe. Ah! Su Tiangao suddenly cried out in pain. His skin seemed to be burning and was gradually rotting away. Most of the Su family members were the same. They all cried out in pain and charged out with the Xie race people. The entire Heart Protection God race tribe was enveloped by the light released by the sun's heart. That power carried a wave of pure yang energy, and when those evil beings were hit by it, they all felt extreme pain as their bodies were corroded. Su Tiangao was extremely terrified. He had always thought that the sun's heart would not send down any punishment, but now the sun's heart had acted. This meant that the Su family would be chased out of the Heart Protection God race tribe. What's going on? The Xie tribe's chief endured the scorching pure yang energy and shouted. The sun's heart is angry. It seems that we underestimated the sun's heart's power. Su Tiangao cursed. That bastard Yang Tianhen will definitely be very happy. Yang Tianhen was indeed very happy at this moment. He even led his people to chase and kill many fleeing Xie race and Su family members. Miss Xianqin, don't go out. An old granny suddenly shouted. There are Xie race people and Su family people outside. They must be angry out of humiliation right now. If we go out, we will definitely be attacked by them. Granny Yang Xian, was that the power of the sun's heart just now? Xiao Xianqin looked at the three suns' heart in the sky and said doubtfully, the sun's heart is so powerful, why was one stolen before? She somewhat blamed the sun's heart. Why didn't it help earlier? Otherwise, Qin Yun wouldn't have been sent to the evil Yang realm. Granny Yang Xian shook her head and said, I don't know the reason either. In short, the sun's heart is very weak right now. Previously, it was this Granny Yang Xian who helped Xiao Xianqin cultivate her soul to saint level. Suddenly, the three suns' heart in the sky shot down a white light and hit Yang Tianhen's body. Yang Tianhen closed his eyes. His expression is somewhat excited. Granny Yang Xian said, Great, Tianhen has finally obtained the position of patriarch. At this moment, the tribe's barrier also recovered. Outside the barrier, a large group of ghost beasts are constantly attacking, trying to break through the barrier. Su Tiangao and the rest of the Su clan saw that the sun's heart had passed the position of patriarch to Yang Tianhen and immediately became extremely jealous. Yang Tianhen, don't be complacent. Su Tiangao clenched his fists and cursed in a low voice. At this moment, he deeply regretted joining hands with the evil Yang race. Otherwise, their Su clan would not have been chased out. Patriarch Xie asked, Su Tiangao, didn't you say that the sun's heart is very weak? Why did it suddenly become so powerful? We were almost completely annihilated. Su Tiangao shouted, How would I know? It's all your fault for bringing so many ghost beasts in. Otherwise, the tribe wouldn't be in such a foul atmosphere. It must be because the sun's heart sensed that there were too many ghost beasts invading, so it released its power to purify them. When we took away one of the sun's heart, why didn't the other three suns' heart attack? Patriarch Xie said doubtfully. Could it be on purpose? Is it to make us attack and annihilate us in one fell swoop? Su Tiangao's expression changed and said, It's extremely possible. It's a good thing that the three suns' heart are too weak, otherwise we would have all died just now. Most of the ghost beasts that the Xie race brought had indeed died inside just now. This was all because the ghost beasts ran slowly. Furthermore, thousands of people from the Su clan and the Xie race were also killed. They were all chased to death by the Yang clan when they were escaping. Now, outside the barrier, they could see many corpses emitting smoke and being purified on the main road of the tribe. Su Tiangao stomped his feet in annoyance and snorted. All right, Didn't you guys capture Qin Yun? How is that guy? Su Tiangao asked. He was tortured by us. Because he is still useful, we did not kill him, Patriarch Xieyang said, and the other elders behind him all had ugly expressions. Su Tiangao said, That guy is indeed very useful, quickly bring him here. Let's see if we can use him to threaten the Yang clan and make them submit. Patriarch Xieyang shook his head. That's impossible, the Yang clan will definitely guard the tribe to the death, they will definitely not let us in again. Patriarch Xieyang, let me tell you, if the 3 warriors in the Sun Heart come out, we will all be finished. Su Tiangao anxiously shouted. Quickly bring Qin Yun here, use him to threaten the Yang clan. It's useless. Patriarch Xieyang said, Our Patriarch Xieyang's evil dragon warriors are very strong, as long as they are here, we don't need to be afraid of those 3 sun warriors. Su Tiangao said with sneer, What happened to Qin Yun? Did you guys kill him? Of course not. He is locked up in the evil dragon mountain by us. Patriarch Xieyang said with bitter smile. You should know about the evil dragon mountain, right? Even if we want to get him out, it will not be that easy. Damn it! Su Tiangao cursed. And at this time, Su Hong suddenly shouted towards the tribe's gate. Yang Tianhen, Qin Yun is locked up in the evil dragon mountain. Don't you want to save him? Idiot! Su Tiangao immediately slapped Su Hong's head. Patriarch! I just wanted to provoke them and make them run out, Su Hong said with some grievance. Isn't that wrong? If they know that Qin Yun is in the evil dragon mountain, then we can't lie to them. Xieyang race leader cursed. Su Tiangao vigorously kicked Su Hong's butt and said angrily, You are truly a stupid donkey. Originally, Su Tiangao wanted to lie to Yang Tianhen and the others, but now it won't work. Inside the tribe, Yang Tianhen found out that Qin Yun is in the evil dragon mountain and is very worried. Yang Kuei said, Patriarch, it might not be a bad thing for Brother Qin to be in the evil dragon mountain. Xiao Xian Qin hastily asked, What is the evil dragon mountain? Is it difficult to go in? Xian Qin, the evil dragon mountain is the strongest place of the Xieyang race. Actually, it is also the evil Yang altar. It is the place where the Xieyang power transfers resources to the lower realms. And that evil dragon mountain is also a training ground. There are many prisoners imprisoned inside. Soon after, Granny Yang Xin told Xiao Xian Qin about the situation of the evil dragon mountain. After Xiao Xian Qin finished listening, she felt a lot more relieved and said, Xiao Yun has many powerful equipment on him. He should be able to protect himself inside the evil dragon mountain. As long as Brother Qin is not controlled by them, it's fine. Yang Kuei nodded and said. Suddenly, a lot of black gas appeared all around the tribe's barrier. It is as if the space is being torn apart, the entire tribe is trembling non-stop. Yang Tianhen and the others are inside the tribe, they are looking outside the barrier in shock. Oh no, we are going to open up the evil Yang realm, Yang Tianhen shouted. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.